Hey, it's Jacob Wheeler, and you are listening to Jigs and Bigs.
Guys, welcome, my dudes. It is time for another episode of Jigs and Bigs. And do we have a doozy of a show for you this week? Lots of things going on in the fishing world with me. Managed to teach my lovely lady wife to use a casting setup for the very first time. And spoiler alert, homegirl is a frickin' natural. We're having a discussion about how to catch them in the dog days of summer. We also just had our first heat wave of 2026, and it's reminding me that it's about to get really, really tough out there, but you can absolutely catch them. We will tell you how it's done. Join us for all that and a whole lot more coming up right after this. I can't believe this. Todd Sefton in here for one of our jig heads says, "What's up, boys? On my way home with the new yak."
Hell yeah!
This is breaking news. Todd, what are you getting? Oh, or were we talking about? Did you get a U10? Is that what it is? I think we talked about that. Ooh. I gotta stop with the drugs. I gotta stop with the fucking drugs. I think we talked about a U10. That's a good fucking platform if that's what it is. It's probably something totally different. I totally fucked that up, but we'll find out what it is. But congrats, Todd. Awesome, man. Getting out on the water with the new yak. That's going to be good stuff, especially in the slot limit series and the duo series as well. It is July, my dudes. It is, as we record this, it is July the 3rd, which means that tomorrow is Independence Day. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Happy 250th.
Happy birthday, America. I have this thing I posted on, I recorded. This is like Jesus Christ. This is like 22 years ago, something like that. And every year I send it to my buddy Tim. My buddy Tim and I were working this one 4th of July. This is back when I worked in TV. And I had... we went out to some movie. I forget what it was. I think it was a Marvel movie. And we just brought like a case of beer with us. Like we hid the thing in the fucking theater and just fucking crushed beers. And we were wrecked. And we were hanging out at his apartment, just like playing video games and shit like that. And then on my phone, I recorded this clip. And every year we send it to one another. And it's like a contest to see who can send it first. And this is what the audio is just fucking amazing. Come on, where is it?
Happy birthday, America! Happy birthday, motherfucker!
You know, it's just, that's the glory of it. You can tell exactly how fucking wasted I am in that. God. Dudes, I got to tell you, we have one hell of a show lined up for you. All kinds of real good stuff. We're talking about the dog days of summer. It's the first heat wave of many this year, I'm sure, that we've experienced here in Massachusetts and all around New England. And nobody's happy. Even though we went through the winter that we went through, Joe, I don't think anybody has like remembered how shitty it was and how much in like February and January we were like, oh, I can't wait till it's like fucking 100 degrees. Holy shit. Well, here it is, motherfuckers. Enjoy it. And fishing is clearly going to get tough, but we're here to try to help you guys out with some tips. We got some good stuff, some good tactics that you guys can actually utilize and do some good stuff with. Let's go ahead before we get too far. Just keep everybody in the loop. What's going on? Well, we are Jigs and Bigs, a weekly fishing podcast. Our main focus, our mission statement, it's all about the community. It's about engaging with the fishing community as much as possible, sharing stories and learning, obviously, along the way. My name is Bobby Roastbeef. My co-host is Who the Fuck is Joe Brown, the one and only American Vet Fishing.
Yo!
And we have a weekly show that drops each and every week for you. It's a hefty show. It's usually a good couple, 2-3 hours. And we do that with intention so that you guys have some Jigs and Bigs content that will drop every single week, and you can go back and listen to it and enjoy it and have some fun. That's what we're trying to bring to the fishing space, is a little bit of fun and a little bit of everything else. It's good stuff. We do have merch available if you are into that kind of thing, you want to represent a little Jigs and Bigs action, you can go over to jigsandbigs.com. We got shirts and hats and all kinds of different stuff. Go ahead, check that stuff out. We also want to introduce our jig heads. You may hear us reference some folks. We referenced Todd Sefton. Earlier, before we started recording, we were talking with John Hagens. These are our jig heads. They are members of the Patreon community, and they get they get a link to an exclusive live stream of the recording of this show where they're able to actually engage in a live setting and sort of like get involved with how everything's going. And it's awesome. We love to have them here. So if you want to check that out, you can find us on Patreon. The link is also at jigsandbigs.com. We also do a bunch on social media, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, you name it. There's all kinds of stuff. Follow us on all the socials at Jigs and Bigs, at American Vet Fishing, and we do tournaments as well. And the whole idea is it's just a way to engage with the fishing community and kind of actually feel like we're fishing alongside with some of our favorite people, which are the Jigs and Bigs audience and community. We run all these over on Fishing Chaos. Again, that link is at jigsandbigs.com. You can sign up for all of our stuff. We have a slot limit tournament, which is a nationwide tournament. Evens playing field, whether you're in Ohio, you're in Nebraska, you're in Massachusetts, you're in Texas, you're in Florida, you're in California. It's a little bit more even all the way around, and it's a whole lot of fun. That's a one-day catch-em-all style. It's nuts. We do have a monthly that we're doing, which is a team tournament, which is the best 5, and it's gaining popularity. Right now, we're primarily in the Northeast, but we are branching out starting next year because the popularity of this has been insane. We also have a really good slot limit tournament coming up. That's a breast cancer fundraiser for BCRF, and that's all going down on August the 8th. And it's the lowest entry that we have to join. It's $10, and it's 100% donation that goes to BCRF. And everybody who enters gets an entry into the prize giveaway. We got some amazing prizes from some fantastic sponsors. We're still working out some deals on who's involved and everything else with that. But you don't even have to win in order to play. And if you do land in the money in the tournament, quote unquote, in the money, what you're receiving is additional entries into the raffle. In fact, I think we're probably going to have a guaranteed pull for the winner, so they will certainly win a prize. What prize will it be? We'll find out. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun. You guys should check that stuff out, jigsandbigs.com. Make sure to be following us on your preferred podcast platform. A lot of you guys listen to Apple Podcasts. A whole lot of you guys now have been listening to Spotify. We have like over 1,000 followers on Spotify now, Joe, which is insane. That's crazy. But ratings and reviews go a whole long way to help us directly there. And it doesn't cost you guys a dime. So go ahead and do all that. Last thing before we jump into our weekly recaps and kind of get all caught up this week is that you will hear some voicemails and things that will play throughout the show. That all comes to us through the Jigs and Bigs hotline. The number is 413-324-8519. You can call or text us there any time of day. Leave a voicemail or shoot us a text message. And this is a way where you can submit an FTG for our Fuck That Guy segment, where if you want to air a grievance of some sort, we've had a bit of a theme over the past few weeks with that one here. That's going to continue this week. Also, though, in our live well, which is kind of like the ramp beers section where, you get off the water with your buddies and you're just hanging out, talking all kinds of stuff. That's where all that goes down. And from there, oftentimes it can spawn other conversations that appear in further episodes. And I love that. That's absolutely awesome. So check all of that stuff out, jigsandbigs.com. With all that said, Joe, let's talk about fishy shit. How was your week this week?
Oh, man, my week was so not fishy that it like aggravates the hell out of me. It was like just work and fucking family and just like nothing fishy at all. And, we're prepping the RV and everything else for because a week from today, we head down to Florida for fucking Disney, Universal, and iCast.
Yep.
So
that time of year.
Yep. So we'll be down. So I'll be down there at iCast with Fish or Die again this year. We are staying at the Disney campground, Fort Wilderness. So we already got that booked. We're going to be hooking the Jeep to the back of the RV, and friggin' the brown bus is going to be heading south.
That's fucking awesome.
So,
man.
Yep, we're going to be there for, a week, right around a week. So
that's cool.
We're excited. I'm going to throw some dude. So from what I'm hearing is like the property that I'm on has some pretty fucking insane bass fishing water on it.
Really?
So I will have, I will have some rods inside the RV. And,
Nice.
last year, I don't know if you remember, Bobby, I flew down. So I actually bought like a cheap ass Walmart rod to go hit a couple ponds.
That's right. I remember.
With Taylor and Dylan, but no, I'll have my own gear this year. So I'll bring down a few things. I'm gonna bring down my catch board and try. Oh, I can't.
Why? Oh yeah, for the duos. Yeah,
Damn
you're out
it.
of range.
Oh,
Yeah, but you know
all
what?
right, well, the catch board will stay home.
Yeah, I mean, this way, if nothing else, you get it's the opportunity for amazing content. If nothing else,
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, yep, we'll do that. And dude, I'm excited for ICAST. I had a blast last year. Before we started recording, we were talking about some people that were going to be down there.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Key will be there.
Yeah.
So we already have plans for him to come kick it with us at the campground.
That's awesome.
I've been talking. I usually talk to him a couple times a week. So we're both pumped there, and Meg's pumped that he's coming. So I'm kind of getting suspicious.
That's
like
awesome,
she's
dude.
like too excited that he's coming. So I'm not really sure what's going on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, not too sure what's going on there. She's like overly excited. So I don't know if I should keep her home or what. But
I wish they all could be California.
she just wants, you know what it is? She just wants that fucking mustache, right?
That's
that I
what
don't
it
have
is,
anymore.
man.
You know?
See?
That's what it is, dude.
Telling you, dude. I'm telling you.
God damn it. So yeah, dude, but man, I wish I had more fishy stuff for the audience. But obviously, next week, or not next show, the show following, I'll obviously have some stuff because
That's the thing, Joe. You and I, our fishy shit is very different. Like, I am fishy shit locally all the time, like sending it. But your fishy shit is way more cool and interesting. Like St. Lawrence River with Fish or Die, and then you're at ICAST and all that stuff. I'm hitting like the Connecticut River, and, shit like that. You know what I mean? And I'm catching them and I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
But it's like this way, I feel like we can kind of, what we bring to the Jigs and Bigs audience is kind of nice because we kind of show the spectrum that you could be on, Yep. No, I agree. But you know how it is, dude. Like, I love ICAST. I love that I went to the Classic. Although I did get to fish at the Classic, St. Louis. But like, with ICAST, like it's awesome to be able to mingle and all that and network. But I mean, there's nothing. So you haven't met Kevin. So Kevin is one of Taylor's close buddies on from Fish or Die. He was on Bill's video a little bit. But dude, he was thinking about going down, and he was going to come up, and he has a boat. He has actually a nice Phoenix. He's like, dude, he's like, I'll bring your boat down for you. I was like, dude, if you want to go to fucking ICAST, I was like, come up, take my truck, my boat. Yeah. I was like, drive it down, dude. And like, use it as much as you want, and like, we'll go out, like, we'll hit the definitely. Like Kiss Me chains, and the only issue with that is I already like bought tickets to fucking Disney and shit like that. Making memories.
Yeah. Fucking is that is that what you call it?
Disney
it's gonna be
magic.
Yeah, dude. Dude, but it's like I talk like that, dude. But the kids are so excited.
They totally
They've never
are,
been.
I'm sure.
Like Emma's been there. The boys haven't, and we're actually flying down our oldest for he's got work and shit. But we're flying him. This is like his graduation gift. We're flying him down to come for a few days.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because he can't like
Disney
drive there
before,
with us,
right?
Say that again.
Have you done Epcot specifically before?
Oh yeah, I've done it. I've done it a few times.
All right,
yeah.
so okay, you're familiar. I was gonna say, man, you should go and drink around the world. That is impressive.
Oh, dude. I only make it like 4 fucking countries, and I'm like, I'm gonna be throwing because I always go when it's hot as fuck out.
Yeah, that's
so rough. It's like I'm like, dude, if I keep going, I will literally die. Like I'm gonna die. And, dude, it's funny you mentioned that. I actually saw like a TikTok. I think it was a TikTok recently.
I think that's
wonder
what
if I could find it.
Yeah.
It's this dude. He's like, it's so fucking funny. He's like, all right, first drink of drinking around the world here in Mexico. And then he's like, and then it cuts. It's like second drink in Mexico. And like, dude, he had 5 drinks just in Mexico.
Oh my God.
And then moved to the next one. He's like, dude, he's in the second country. I think it was like Japan. He's like slurring his words. I was like, oh, he ain't making it.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. That's a thing of beauty.
But, yeah, so the last time I went to Epcot was when we brought Emma down a few years back, and we brought Emma with us to Epcot. Like, so, but we kept it cool, obviously, because she was like fucking 3 at the time. But we still got it in a little bit.
Oh man, yeah, it is really fun. Like, I know I love to talk shit about like the whole like Disney adults and stuff like that. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it is.
If that's your thing, that's cool. I don't want to yuck your yum. You know what I mean? I chase shit with gills like they're Pokemon. So like it is. I get it.
Yep.
But I'm like. I don't know. Yeah, like it is. It's a good vacation. We never went with the girls. They didn't really give a shit about Disney so much. I do think that they would fucking love to go to Universal, but I'm one of those people. Like, I'm not going to Florida in July. Like, iCast could invite me full paid. I wouldn't go unless I was going to be in the air conditioning the whole fucking.
Most of our trip is centered. 90% of that trip is centered around Universal. Yeah, because that's like what all the kids want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, we might hit Magic Kingdom because there's literally a fucking boat that goes from our campground over the lake to the actual spot.
It's too easy. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you know, Emma's like loves Harry Potter and all that bullshit that they have at Universal, and the boys like that shit. So they're like, no, we want, and they have that new park there, the Epic Universe. So that's what they're excited about, you know what I mean? So we're dude, it's just awesome to see how excited they are, because the twins have never been there, you know.
Yeah,
so
they're gonna love it.
Yep. We're excited.
Oh, that's freaking awesome, dude. I was telling my wife, we did fish this week, and we'll get to that in a minute, but I was telling her the story that you were talking about, how Jackson sent a drop shot like into the fucking border patrol fucking ducks. She's like, are you serious? I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. I'm like, it was amazing. But I say that because, dude, I think she's interested in going to St. Lawrence. And
dude, go ahead.
I think you and I need to come up with like a fun little like charity series that involves our wives on the boats.
Yeah.
I think we could do something wicked fun.
And Holly might be the fucking same way. Like Meg loves fishing, dude.
Yeah.
I got her on the flogger, and she's seeing the way the fish are react. Dude, she didn't even want to fish. She's like, no, I just want to spot. I want to be on the fucking flogger, because she's seen all kinds of different fish. She's like, this is amazing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think we'll come up, and I'll go through this week and I'll explain, because I texted you. I was in your neck of the woods earlier this week.
Yep.
So I sent it a bunch this week. This is the first week where I haven't had a weekend where I've had to prep during the week for a big event like a wedding or something. Like, this is like my first off week. In fact, I'm off on Saturday or on Sunday on the 5th too, because they're like, we're planning on it being very slow right after the 4th. So let's skip this weekend. I was like, that sounds great. So I had a nice shorter week this week than I would normally have, and I took full advantage. And I got some notes that we'll go through here. But so this week, so after we recorded last Friday, Saturday morning, I got up early and I sent it with my buddy Paul. And we roll up there, and the whole idea was initially we got out there nice and early to try to take advantage of a little bit more activity from these fish. So now I'm at the point where, like, I don't have to get up and drive kids to school or anything like that. I can go and hit the water nice and early. I think we were out there at like 6:30 or something. We get there, and dude, from the rip, it's just fucking bullshit on the parking lot as far as vehicles parked without trailers in spots that are for trailers, and there's nowhere for me to park. So I was like, all right, I go,
This is a spot by me, right? You were talking about?
No, this is a spot.
Oh, okay.
This is a spot not too far from me. And I've fished there in the past before. I've got really good history with this. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I called local PD, non-emergency, and I was like, listen, I go, hey, I'm going to make do, and figure it out. But like, somebody's got to prove the fucking point. I was like, can you send someone down here to ticket these cars? And they're like, abso-fucking-lutely. So I was like, all right, cool. We were already on the water by the time they showed up. They're like, yeah, it's probably not going to happen until after 7:30. I was like, that's fine. I'm like, because odds are whoever's out here is going to be whatever. So if you're listening to Jigs and Bigs and you got a ticket on your show,
stop parking where you're not supposed to park.
Yeah.
And I parked, further down the street, walked back up, did the whole thing. And I said to Paul, I was like, we can go to a different body of water if you rather. But I'm like, to be honest with you, I kind of think we got to send it here. Now, dude, we had gotten some rain overnight there. And when we got there, the water was so fucking dirty. It was just nuts. We did eventually catch them. Paul actually started catching them a little bit earlier than I did. Because this was like the end of the June duo tournament. So I was grinding, looking for bigger fish. And, he was catching a bunch of crappie initially. And, which is funny because I've never really caught crappie there. I've never also, after this last weekend, I haven't caught so many crappie over there ever. I just don't know where the fuck they were hiding. So we're fishing and we just had to keep downsizing. Like that was really what it was. Like downsizing. Like I don't know if it was just a change in the pressure, had them a little turned off. So the thing that was really kind of making it work for me was a lot of the better bites were super close to the bank and or in and around wood cover. So sure. I was like, I want to throw something that's got a little bit more protection. Well, I got these micro koosh ball jigs from HH Customs, and I got them in 1/8 and 3/16 ounce. And I was throwing one of the heavier ones with a 2.3 inch Big Joshy. Now, they have a color. It's called the Dark Knight. Guess what? It's all black. And with the black Big Joshy, it is a home run.
Is that the one with the red eyes?
The larger one has red eyes. The smaller one does not. The smaller one doesn't have any of those.
The
details.
red eyes are sick.
The red eyes are pretty sick. They really are.
Yeah.
So I'm ripping these around here. I ended up putting, I think, like a 17 in that day for the duo, which was awesome. That was intense, dude. Like we're talking about 4-pound fucking fluoro and like finessing this fish in. Like it was just crazy. And like we had a great time. It was just unbelievable. And it was hot, but it wasn't hot like it is right now, like the last couple of days.
It's like oppressive.
The problem is like we didn't have the humidity. It's just that day we didn't have any wind at all. My last send this week we had some wind, and it was actually, even though it was more muggy, it was a little bit more bearable. But yeah, we sent it. It was awesome. It was great. Put some decent fish in the boat. Got home that night, called it nice and early, and I think Sunday I had the last wedding. The last wedding was like the big stretch. Let's see. Yeah, Sunday was the last wedding of June. Dude, it was awesome. It was so good. The groom's dad must fish because he barely speaks any English. But like at the end of the night, I was like packing up my gear, and like I usually bring a hat with me so that like I can keep like sweat out of my eyes, like especially when we're outside like that. And I put on my Daiwa hat, and he looks at me, and he knew exactly what the fuck that meant. I was like, there you go, dude. It was just awesome. So that's done. That's behind me now. I don't have a crazy private event schedule until we get into October. October is nuts. It's like June Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. So then Monday morning, I get up with nothing that has to be done at all. I didn't have to prep anything because Saturday night I took care of my trivia prep for the week. I think I edited the show actually Saturday night. And all that stuff was all in order. So I had like a nice Sunday morning. Monday morning I got up and I freaking sent it. I went to Oxbow. But something happened while I was there. I realized that my boat was not registered.
They see me riding dirty.
My registration expired on Saturday. I totally forgot. I thought I went right to the end of the month, and I was like, no, I'm good, man, whatever. So I had to renew later on that day. Once I realized it, I was like, oh shit. That was an interesting day, Monday, because I got out there, and again, I was looking for big bass. I'm like, this was the last day of the month, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I get around there, and I go all the way back to Oxbow, and I'm fishing some stuff that makes sense. I should be finding fish here, and I caught one on a swim jig, but I can't really credit that to it being the swim jig. I hit this fish in the face, and it hit this jig. I was like, all right, cool. Could not get another bite on it, fishing all the rest of that crap in the wood that's back there, nothing. It's like, all right, no big deal. What was very cool was that I went over where there's a bunch of weeds and pads, like just hitting at the surface. The pads are all up at the surface, but like all these submerged weeds, like there's little bits just sticking out. So I'm like, this is good swim frat territory. And have you fucked with those, Joe, at all? The swim frats from Sack Pig?
I haven't.
Fucking awesome. I've got mine rigged weightless. So I'm running it as a topwater, as a little bit of a wake bait. But it is, dude, so I caught a 15. It was a twin to the other one I caught on the swim jig like a half hour earlier. And I'm like, all right, this is cool. I've been trying to hook up on one of these things. I'm stoked about it. She released this fish, and I make my way over, and I'm fishing the rest of these weeds. I couldn't buy a bite over there. I was like, no shit. Okay, all right, whatever. So I decided to switch things up and change and look for some more deeper vegetation and try and target that. Maybe drop a bottom bait, a jig, or even a shaky head or something. Like just put something down there and see what we can get. So I get over to this one spot, and I find exactly what I'm looking for. This little ledge that comes from about like a 4 foot flat, and then it drops down to like 8 feet. And I'm like, okay, so this is good, but right at the end there's grass, and I was like, let's go ahead and try this. I threw a black and blue jig, bang, put a 16. No, that was the 17. That was the 17 that I caught. The one I caught on Saturday was a 16 and a half. I'm stoked. I got this fish. Everything's cool. I started having some issues with my phone, being able to submit those fish. So I was like, I'm going to go and make sure that I've got service. I start tooling around. Didn't get a bite the rest of the day. Heat was starting to get to me. I'm like, I'm going to call it. So we call that. Everything's cool. It was just absolutely awesome. Tuesday, my wife was like, hey, we should go fishing. She actually said this Monday evening. And I was like, we can definitely go. What do you want to do? She goes, first, I want to go get coffee here. She goes, and then, where should we go nearby? And I was actually going to go back to where Paul and I had fished on Saturday. But I was like, I'm thinking more about her. Now, this is the first day of the month. Was Tuesday the 30th? Yeah, I think Tuesday was the 30th. So... Tuesday was the last day of the month. So I'm like, last ditch effort. We got to find some big fish. Let's see what happens. So we go over in your neck of the woods, Joe. We launch the boat. We're having a great time. I caught him in some submerged grass initially on that little HH Customs micro jig with the big Joshy. I caught a couple of them in some grass there. Holly was throwing a finesse swim bait on a 1/8 ounce jig head and hooked a small largemouth. It was the only largemouth that we caught that day. Everything else was all smallmouth. So she catches this Larry. Hook goes through the eye of this bass, and she is not. I'm not saying she's distraught over it or anything like that, but she was very much like, "Oh shit, I did that. Well, is this fish going to be okay?" I was like, "Yeah, he's going to be fine." He just kind of, when I released him, he swam a little bit more to the left than I think I would have expected. But it is what it is. So we release her first fish. She's stoked. And we start putting together a pattern. I was like, okay, so we're catching some fish. This is awesome. That jig didn't leave my hand that day. I caught a shitload on them. So I was like, this is a pattern. Once I got to my third fish, I was like, this is definitely a pattern. Let's tie one on for you. She's like, okay, cool. So I put one on for her. She's going. Everything's cool. She's struggling a little bit. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I got an idea, babe. how about today's the day you learn how to throw a bait caster? And she's like, okay, we can do that. Sure. So I gave her my bait finesse combo, the Pig Jigs rod with that arc gravity reel.
Yep.
And I'm like, so I show her the mechanics and everything. Dude, when I explained to her like how you keep your thumb on the spool to keep it from blowing up on you and everything, she was kind of overdoing that a little bit. So she'd cast and it would go like a foot and stop. And eventually she kind of got the mechanics of it, and she's making like much better casts. And I'm like, okay, she's like, yeah, I like this. It's a little bit more like comfortable. It's only like a 6.6 rod, that one. So it is like a little bit easier to kind of like maneuver versus a 7.3 spinning rod that she was throwing. So she's like, this is pretty slick. And she's doing okay. And then at one point, like probably about 15 minutes go by, and she goes, I think there's a knot somewhere in here because I'm casting and it just stops. And I was like, really? Okay, let me see. Yep, she had a bird's nest. It was a little loop that was holding around. So I was like, okay, this is cool. I was like, this is what you do. I just pulling all the line out. And I was like, sometimes you got to pick at it to get it to like, release. And then you pull it out till like all the mess is out and then reel it back in and you're good to go. And I was like, this is just going to happen. You're always going to backlash at some point or another. It's just going to get less and less frequent. And your time to be able to fix it will get that much better. I'm like, when people beat themselves up because like, oh, I blew up this reel, it happens. You know what I mean? It's just the reality of it. Yep. Dude, so fast forward a little bit. We caught a bunch, but I was like, I haven't heard a thing from her about like needing me to pick out a backlash or anything like that. And I was like, did you have any overruns at all? And she's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I just picked them out and fixed them. I was like, oh, my God, girl. Good for you. So she's stoked. She like it wasn't a skunk. She has yet to skunk, which oh my goodness, thank God.
Thank God.
I had a pretty good day. I put the only one off species I caught that day was a yellow perch. It was a decent one, pretty much like cannibalizing the presentation that we were throwing at them. But we're so things are good. She's happy. I was like, you know what? Why don't we just get off the water? We'll go grab some lunch and we'll send it there. Now, this is what amazes me about this woman. Not only did she say, oh yeah, hey, let's go fishing, but over the weekend, she ordered some Bass Dash gear for herself. She's like, she goes, I'm going to order like some sun shirts. She goes, I don't think I'm going to get the ones with the hood. And then she realized that like, shit, I probably should have got the ones with the hood.
Yep.
But she goes, do you have a hat? Like, do you have a hat that you haven't destroyed, like sweating in or anything like that? That's not fucking gross. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I do. And I happen to have a Flex Fit brass knuckles patch Hookset Hoodlums hat with the black multicam, like very slick. And I'm like, I'm going to show this to her and she's going to punch me. She's going to be like, I'm not wearing that, Dude, she wore it all day. She hates wearing hats, any hats at all. But I was like, who the fuck is this woman? She's decked out in Bass Dash and Hookset Hoodlums. I'm like, dude, I'm here for this. She trying to tell me she wants another baby? I don't fucking know.
Oh,
she's going about it the right way. I'm just saying. So I'm like, okay, this is fucking pretty amazing. So we have a good time. We went for lunch, dude. We went to the Clam Box, the new location. Haven't been there since. Dude, it was so good. Now, I'm going to tell you.
They're legit, dude.
They're very legit. And it's weird because like when I tell you, like, are you a fried seafood guy?
I am.
You are? Okay.
Certain things.
If I were to say to you, hey, we're getting fried clams, what would you say? They got to be what?
Ooh, I don't know.
Are you one of these that's like, they got to be whole bellies? I won't touch them otherwise.
Oh, I love whole bellies.
Whole bellies? Dude. Okay. So this is the thing. I feel like most people generally, right, don't. If you're going to get fried clams, especially in New England, you're like, you appreciate whole bellies. My wife.
Yeah, a lot of people just get the strips, dude.
Dude, she loves the strips. Loves them. Lives for them.
And they're good. They're fucking good there, too.
They are good. They do them really well. I went with like a combo platter. I went with like scallops and shrimp because I'm bougie.
Yeah.
And And she was like, we had a good meal, a couple of beers. I had, this is my first time at that new location. Their parking is different. Parking the boat at the old place was a little bit easier. Here,
not there.
No, but there is, oddly, there's this weird situation where you have these parking spots, like 3 or 4 that go one direction. And on the other side, there's 2 that are like parallel. They were open. And I fit my boat right in those 2 spots perfectly.
Because if it's full, dude, right across the street there, you could park too.
That's kind of what I thought.
That's where all their employees park.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good to know. And I mean, dude, so we had a good time. We get home. We're, obviously, like while we're on the boat, we're talking about...
So talk about the clam box before we.
Yeah.
Did you I'm glad that it was open for you guys because they've been kind of closed over the past week, and I don't know if you heard about this.
No. They've been
so
closed?
one of their employees last week, 19-year-old kid, goes to leave at night in the evening.
Yep.
Hops on his fucking e-scooter. And get smoked right there at the fucking entrance and killed.
Are you serious? Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. So they've been closed for all and all the employees saw it happen, dude.
Oh my God, dude.
So they were closed for like 3 days after that, then like for the memorial and shit like that. I think they're finally kind of back like normal. Yeah, dude. But that's what my kids have e-scooters and I was like letting them yeah, go have fun. And they've been pissed at me because I'm like, no, you guys aren't like riding around the roads.
Yeah. Dude, it's true. Because number one, those things are fast, but in that area specifically, that stretch of road, isn't that the measured mile? I think it is.
Yep.
Which is insane because
EB Flats, dude. East Brookfield Flats right there.
When I was like 17, I got my 1978 GMC Jimmy bored out 400 to like 120 miles an hour there.
Jesus.
It was fucking crazy. I'm like,
back when Bobby was running the streets and Joe was still shitting his pants watching fucking Sesame Street.
Yeah, this was like 1996, I think is when it was. So
I lived in Florida. Oh no. I think I had just come back from Florida. So yeah, I was in like 6th grade.
You're probably like, who is that fucking cool dude in that 2-tone brown SUV? That's fucking.
I probably didn't say that.
No, probably not. Oh man, I have a lot of fucking awful and embarrassing stories about dumb shit that I've done when I was in high school.
You and me both.
Yeah.
We should just have a show one day where we just kind of like what we did on the Hoodlum cast. We should just we'll talk a little bit of fishing and then just have a few drinks and just fight. Dude, we will probably laugh so hard we'll puke. You know what we should do? We should do this where I know we've talked about doing like a live show before, like over at the brewery near you. We should do that with test the internet and make sure it's better than this crap that I've got. But we should do a full live well episode. Whoever shows up. And we'll do it just live stream public, let everybody do whatever. We'll share a bunch of fucking stories and then we'll edit the shit out of it when we put it out. So if you weren't there, you didn't get it. You know what I mean? It'll just be a bunch of beeps and shit. Oh, that'll be great, dude. Man, it was nuts. So, I mean, we had a great day. That was Tuesday. Wednesday was like a lot of shit that I wanted to get caught up on. Like I wanted to cut the grass on Wednesday, had a couple other things to do. But one of the things that I definitely needed to work on Wednesday was I have these 2 gravity reels from I actually have 3. One's a spinning reel that I'm waiting on that rod to arrive. But I have these 2. They're Gravity 3 Gen 2s. And the Gravity 3 it's a pretty sweet series of reel. And I'm going to be doing a full breakdown discussing this, but there are some significant I guess features to the Gen 2 that make it really stand apart. I mean, I think it's in the I think it's like somewhere between like 129 and 159. I think it's like in that 129 window, to tell you the truth, but it feels so solid. I got 2 of them. I got a 7-speed and a 6. The 6 is going to go on my glass rod that I haven't put on yet for like deep cranking and stuff, though we're getting to that part of the year, where that's going to be a thing. And then the 7 I put on my top water combo.
And that top water combo doubles as my jerkbait setup. And I opted to go down a little bit in the size of mono I throw on that. And I'm using 10 pound. And I used it today, and I'm really impressed. I like it a lot. I like it a whole lot. I like having a little bit faster of a reel there. It's a little bit more responsive, I guess, you know, especially with like jerk baits and things like that. So let's go. What else did I do on Wednesday? Trivia, obviously all week long, which is kind of crazy. On Thursday, Paul and I sent it, and we go out. And we headed out again to your neck of the woods, a spot that was nearby. And we're like, yeah, we'll send it. We'll go nice and early again. Because again, this is one of the nice things about Paul's like schedule and everything is like he's got Thursdays free. It's like Wednesday he goes in for his treatment, and then Thursdays he's available. And actually, he even ended up with today off because
let me ask you something while I'm thinking. Let me ask you something about that spot, Bobby.
Yeah,
because I just thought about this because it was the last time I went there. Have you seen the dude? So if you're at the ramp, let's say you're at the ramp and looking at the ramp is north. I know it's not, but just for conversation's sake. So at the end of the pond is north.
Looking.
So like,
at the end of the pond. Okay.
So like northeast, like far northeast. Have you ever seen the dude that owns the plane and parks his plane right there?
I've never seen it. I've been out there a number of times. I've never even seen it on the water. He has a
seaplane. He fucking lands it on that body of water. I've seen it like the both times I've been there. I've seen it.
I've heard that. I've heard that before, and I've never seen it.
Dude, he pulls it right up onto his like back lawn of the lake.
No shit. I mean, I'll have to check that out next time and pay attention.
So the reason why this is significant, guys, this is a very small body of water.
It really is
that we're talking about.
Yeah. You're not kidding. It's not that large at all. Like there's folks that live on the body of water there that have wake boats and jet skis and stuff like that. Like especially like the wake boats and like for water skiing, and with the fucking rocks and boulders there are in there. Some of these guys are bold. Like I'm like when I motor across the long way, right? I'm like I'm on plane, I'm off plane, and that's pretty much it. Like it's like, and I'm maxing out at 30 miles an hour. It's crazy, but the goal today was actually to put some work in with that top water combo and see what we could put together. And dude, they just did not want anything to do with top water today. They just didn't. I think honestly, we're throwing a bunch of hard baits, and I'm not a believer in hard baits with visibility like that. This place is really clear, which is nice because a day like where we did end up finding them was like up against those boulders, like hiding under that shit. So it was all really finesse swim baits, but they were picky. Like had to cast real far out, get it on the bottom, and then just like slow roll that along the bottom. Maybe pop it up a little bit once in a while. I think the biggest fish I put in today was a 15-inch largemouth. Or not today, on Thursday. The biggest fish, I got a 14 and a quarter as well. So for the derb, we're up to like just under 30 inches. So I'll take that. I'll take that. Well, we're only a few days in so far, but I was like, okay, so that's cool.
You know what I'm gonna do, Bobby?
What's that?
I'm gonna do what the mass fucking record did. So I'm going to catch a nice one at Disney. I'm going to throw it in the fucking...
Or release it there?
I'm going to throw it in the cooler and fucking... and bring it up to Massachusetts on the way back in the brown bus. And then bring it over to Lash and measure it. And be like, oh, look, I got this one for the duos tournament.
You know what? I'll edit that out. Although Zach is going to be on the... Zach's probably already texting Binya right now to fucking rat us out. Fucking Zach. Fucking Zach. So yeah, dude, it was nuts. I'll tell you what, pro move, because I knew it was going to be really hot. And I'm like, got to keep the beverages going. You know what I did is I picked up, while I was doing some of my domestic running around on Wednesday, I picked up a bottle of Clamato. And I also picked up a bottle of Athletic Brewing, their Mexican copper style. And brought a little bottle of Frank's Red Hot and made some micheladas on the boat. And
Okay.
Fucking A, man.
Weird kind of in the hot weather. Cause like for me, I would sweat my balls off with the micheladas, with the spicy. And
I don't know, man. It's so refreshing. Just so refreshing. And that, like, those beers coming out, like, that's the thing. This is not like, oh, yeah, we're going to sip these beers slow. No, like, I would mix one and I would pound it. And I was Athletic Brewing, so like these are alcohol free, but I very well may have been adding some tincture to my, you know, as an opposite of the fish whistle. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They didn't want anything to do with Topwater. We're crushing beers first thing. It was great, having a good time. We fish until about noon. Paul had caught a bunch. There was a casualty, and this is sad. In one of the fights, I think it was with the 15. Like again, this is on bait finesse, little tiny swim bait.
Yeah.
Paul, he did net this fish, landed it. I was like, sweet. Hands me the net, and I think in the chaos, I think I like just laid my rod down, and then the net at some point dropped onto the rod. I didn't think anything of it until I went to make that next cast, and my pig jigs rod went right in the middle, like right over the first guide. Fucking broke right on the cast. Casting an 1/8 ounce jig.
Oh no! And you love that rod.
I love that rod. I've caught,
loved past tense.
I caught my PB smallmouth at St. Clair with that. I taught my wife to use a bait caster. When I called her on the way home, I was like, there was a little bit of a casualty. I'm like, and she's like, what happened? And I was like, oh, well, I made this cast. She's like, it wasn't something I did, was it? I was like, no, it was fine. Because I had been fishing all day with that, with no problem. Yeah. I'm like, no, this is totally different. Totally different. Yeah, so I was in the Pig Jigs, the Pig Jigs group chat and Pig Nation, and I was like, little bit of a casualty today, boys. But I think I feel kind of bad because I think Tommy thinks like it's something like that he did because he made that rod, and I was like, dude, no, that was absolute chaos. Like, if a rod's gonna break, I would rather it be for that kind of a reason. You know what I mean?
You know what? As much as we fish, like, it is normal for us to break 2 to 3 rods a season.
Oh, dude, I haven't broken a rod since 2018.
That's what I'm saying. Mind-blowing.
Like, I haven't, seriously, like, I don't break rods like that. So it's
maybe
like,
it's the type of boat and shit. I don't like, so my biggest thing is, number one, I'll step on them.
Oh,
I broke a couple stepping on them on the deck.
Yeah.
I have been hurrying up trying to switch baits or whatever, do something in the little day box on the deck, and like I lifted and shut it, not realizing that the tip's in there.
Yep, that'll get you.
But there's been a couple times where it's like on hook sets or whatever. But yeah, I break usually a couple a year.
There is the thing is with this, it's like I know better, and I have rod holders all over the place, and I was being lazy, and I didn't put that. So this is on me. I'm like, it's all good. I'm absolutely going to get another a bait finesse rod from Pig Jigs because it's absolutely fucking awesome. In fact, I think if I'm going to do it, I might go bougie and pair it with a Calcutta just because I want to own one. Because Matt from Small Ponds Big Dreams has me fucking drooling over his Calcutta. Yeah. So I've got some people in Japan that might fucking be able to make some things happen. You might be able to make some things happen for me, Joe.
Yeah, just let me know, dude.
Yeah, you might. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
I don't have to fucking do any fucking dirty dealings.
I got some sources over there. Like I don't know if I told you this. I just got my hands on a fucking Aldebaran.
BFS?
No, not the BFS. The regular Aldebaran, but like I haven't even put it on a rod yet because I'm like I'm not putting this on any rod. Like,
you want to put it on like the right combo and be like,
Yep. It's probably gonna be a mega bass, and I actually got to text the guy back. So I got a guy like who reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I got some mega bass rods I'm looking to get rid of. I don't really use." I'm like, "Okay, let's talk." So
that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Yep. Todd Fishing in 6 says, I've only broken 2 rods ever. Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Then you're not fishing hard enough.
Me too. I've only broke that one, and I seem to only break rods that have like a very significant connection to me, because I broke this Okuma rod that my sister got me for Christmas one year, and like I hooked the biggest stump. I hooked the biggest stump in Quabbin, and I was like, dude, this is a monster. And that's where I was like, I jacked it, and the wind was pushing against the boat, and it was just too much. It was just too much.
Dude, I'm sure you've seen. Have you seen the video yet that Bill put up of our St. Lawrence trip?
Yeah, I have.
Dude, how like 10 rods didn't get broken in that fucking trip.
Oh my God.
Like you guys will see, if you guys go and watch on Wild Bill, you'll see me stepping on rods, Bill stepping on rods, Draco stepping on rods, fucking like, just like, oh my God, dude. It was so fucking like how that no broken rods ended up in that fucking that trip is mind blowing to me.
Just to put it like how ashamed I am of this rod breaking. Take a guess, Joe, how many rod holders I have on my boat right now.
So I know they usually, you can get them in like 2-3.
It's a 17-foot
at least
16 and a half.
So 17, at least 8.
I have 13. I have 13, and they are all aftermarket. They are all aftermarket.
That's what I was kind of thinking. That yeah. I was wondering, like, because I know they could usually come in like 2 or 3 pet, like the 3 in a row, or whatever. And I remember you saying you put some on, but I couldn't remember how many.
So I've got one of the 4 bangers there, and then I've got 3 of the Sport Track adapter ones, the Yak Attack ones that came right from my kayak. So I've got 2 right in front of the console. That's like the 2 that like that's like what I'm mainly throwing, and then like my follow up is that's how I'll stage those. And then I have another one on the opposite side of the console, and that's like my go-to work spot. So when I have a fish and I have a fish in the net, I drop that rod there generally, and that's where I've been lazy. The other 6 are on my black pack from Yak Attack, which is behind the captain's seat, and it has 3 on each side of that box that are vertical up and down. And here's the thing about when I was out with Paul. Like, so when I was out with him Saturday, I was like, I'm gonna fuck around and I'm gonna write a song for him. Like, I'm gonna do one of these Bobby Roast Beef like fishing songs. And I wrote it. It was gonna be on Spotify this week. It's called The Polish Hammer. And I put all of the little fucking nuanced things about Paul into the lyrics, how he hates tying leaders, and he doesn't really pay attention to the details when he's fishing necessarily. He just does it by feel, and he fishes based on whatever he's doing. And all that shit. And in there, I put a couple of digs, but like he knew exactly the time too, where he flubbed a net job, and we grinded and grinded and grinded. It was the night we got pulled over by the environmental police and got a safety check and everything. So we were talking with them, and I was all excited because it was my first time doing that, and we couldn't fucking find a bite. Do you know what fucking night this was, dude? This was the night after all this shit happened. It was the night that Trump was shot at, and it was the night that my great aunt passed away. All that shit happened in one
comes in threes, dog.
3 fucking hour window. It was crazy. I was like, what the fuck? And so Paul's like, how do you remember that shit? But he's like, yeah, he goes, I remember that. And then in there, one of the things I mentioned is like, Paul refuses to use the casting decks. No matter how much I tell him, it is such a better vantage point, not only to cast, but just to see into the water. And he just refuses. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. Well, today, first thing, he's up on the casting deck. And I'm like, good for you, dude. Yes. He's like, I can't believe I've been fucking living in the dark like this. He goes, just being up that extra like 10 inches or so is enough to give you a whole other visual. Huge. I'm like, it's wild. And I'm like, I'm telling you, once you get comfortable and you realize like this boat's not going anywhere, like you're good. And dude, it was awesome. He fished his ass off on Thursday. He really did. He fucking killed it.
It's funny about the casting deck, because I'm like that person where a lot of people, like, if I fish with them, especially like the first time, they'll like go to the back deck. And I'm like, no, I was like, fucking get up here. Like, get up here. Like, you could see the electronics. Like, I could probably comfortably fish 3 people up here. I was like, if you hook me or fuck something up, I just won't bring you again, but we'll be good.
What did I tell? I can fish up there with a couple of I can fish 2 people up at the front.
Yep.
Now it's a little bit easier because I'm a little bit slimmer. But even before I started losing weight and shit, like I could fish myself and one of the girls. I could fish Becca would fish right. Actually, when Becca gets on my boat, I go to the back deck. That's how that works. I go to the back deck. I hand her the remote. I'm like, all right, boss, where are we going? And she just goes. And she never lets me down. She always puts me in spots where there's going to be fish, which is great. So, so he's up there. It's awesome. He's fucking killing it. We went out that day. We got our beef ribs. We went to BT's and, dude, I forgot.
Oh, you did go to BT's.
Not on Saturday because we fished all day. On Saturday, we were just like, not going to happen. I was like, no, this is like midday. I was like, I'm sure Joe's at work. So we ended up, we got our beef ribs, hit the road, came back, dude. And it was a great day. It was awesome. So today was just too damn hot. I am going tomorrow. That's my plan. NJBFS gang, Brandon, is planning on being with me. He is in Massachusetts right now as we record this.
That motherfucker.
But he says to me, he goes, hey, so this is like months. He's been telling me maybe not months, but weeks anyway. He's been saying, oh yeah, we're coming up. We'll have you on, we'll I'd love to fish with you if that's possible. I was like, yeah, where are you going? He's like, I'm not sure. He was out in Rhode Island and out at the Cape. Now he's in I guess they're staying in downtown Boston. He's like, you know anywhere to fish around here? And I'm like, nope. I'm like, I can tell you where to go to get a good beef, though.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit.
You might be able to hit the Charles, but you might hook some fucking needles and homeless people also.
He could definitely. I mean, there's places around that you can, but I have no confidence in any of those spots or anything like that.
Sure, same here.
And I was like, I may actually text him a couple of spots out his way. I was like, this is where I'm going. I was like, you guys are welcome to join me, but it's going to be like a 3-hour drive from where you are. I'm like, and I don't want to ruin your vacation. So if you guys are down and you want to make a run for it, I'm leaving. I'm setting sail at 6 a.m. looking for that topwater bite, and just trying to get them while they're moving, and get there when you get there. Text me, I'll come pick you up. We'll let it rip like that. We'll make it happen. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen. If I'm going to be flying solo, we'll see what happens. But should be a good one though. But yeah, dude, it was pretty crazy. And then I'm thinking about Sunday. I know we're supposed to get some pretty gnarly weather, but even what's amazing, dude, is that my wife is like, hey, what's next week look like? Like, is there a day that's better where we should go or something like that? Yeah, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's fucking. It looks like Wednesday shouldn't be too bad, actually. But Monday,
it looks a little sporty for those days.
Monday, 3/4 of an inch of rain is what's on the forecast, and then another quarter on Tuesday. So sometimes it happens, and then it gets its shit out of its system, and then we can continue on. But we'll figure it out. We'll definitely figure it out. It'll be really good. But we got to talk. There was also some Hoodlum Fest stuff that has developed, which is great.
Yes.
So for those that are attending the actual Hoodlum Fest event in Northern Connecticut, Western Massachusetts, there is an event that I've shared the link to that is on Fishing Chaos. So that is essentially the registration there is covers the swag, it covers the food for the party, it covers all the other shit that's involved. And it also, there's a second ticket, which is a free ticket. And essentially this is the reason why we're doing it there is one, it puts all of the money collection in one spot. No bullshit.
Yep.
Number two, it gives us the platform to be able to use for the competition element of Hoodlum Fest. So on the Friday, we have all that body water. We're doing a numbers event. And then on the second day, we're doing a biggest bass. So it'll be awesome. So make sure you check both tickets. Go ahead and do that. Again, if you're in the Instagram group chat. The link is posted there. I pinned it up at the top so you guys can go and check that out and register and everything. I know we've already got, I think Miguel is already registered. I've registered.
No, it's going to be so fun.
And I am going to put a link in the podcast description, right, of this show. And that is for the August 8th tournament to benefit BCRF. This is a slot limit series. It's a nationwide. Feel free to enter. It's a $10 entry. Okay. It's the cheapest entry for any of our events that we've ever had. There is no cash prize here. That $10, 100% of it is going over to BCRF. But what we are doing is we're partnering with a bunch of brands to do some prizes, similar to the way we ran it at the 300th episode, where every single person is going to get one entry. And then the winners of the tournament, the ones that would be in positions that would pay out, we're going to use that same scale, they're going to get additional entries into the raffle. Like I said, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do, like, for the winner, for the actual, like, the ultimate winner, what we might do is put together, like, a specialty thing where we get something from all of the people, like, to submit something, and we have, like, a gift basket for, like, that winner. And that we might just ship, like, collect it, ship it, and then do it that way. I think that might be the way to do it, or do some other type of method, like maybe gift cards or something like that. So, like, winning the slot would be great, So I recommend check it out. BCRF is the best breast cancer research charity that's out there. That's doing the best. I've looked into helping them a bunch. We have a guest coming up on the show that's going to share their story with breast cancer. Which is awesome. So that'll be coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think. And speaking of guests, I have a date on the calendar with somebody that I've been waiting to have on for quite a while, and that is somebody from Mass Wildlife. And I'll tell you guys what. Jigs and Bigs has wanted to jump into the science and research side of fishing in a major way. But I wanted to avoid having the same guests on that have been on a bunch of other shows, especially because they're from different areas that we don't necessarily relate to here in the majority audience of Jigs and Bigs. So this is really cool. We've got a guy joining us from Mass Wildlife. I happened to bump into him on was this a few weeks ago when I was launching the boat. They were out doing some electrofishing. His name is Julian Berghoff, and he's a local guy. He's from the area. He went to UMass Amherst. In fact, I believe he started the bass fishing club over there, which I never even knew there was one. So I've got questions about that. We're going to talk about, like, his role in the, in conservation efforts and, studies and all this stuff. He did write a really good paper regarding the Connecticut River, I believe. And I'm going to take a look at that during that interview. Ultimately, I'd like to see this become something where we can have Julian or somebody from Mass Wildlife on the show more routinely to kind of give that, like, science and research element, specifically from this area where we live, to kind of talk about this stuff. So I think it could be kind of cool, and we'll see what happens, but it's going to be absolutely dope. We're going to have a lot of fun. That pretty much does my week right there for the most part, man.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. It's been fucking like 90 minutes. Jesus Christ. I'm a little what they would say
long-winded
sometimes. It happens.
It's all right.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I got Eli's in the chat right now, and he says, he goes, "Damn, Bobby, you're going to be making a big purchase soon. She's buttering you up for something." Yeah, I think, honestly, part of that is the kitchen and bathroom remodel. I think that might be, but that shit's just got to get done. Yeah, it's been.
Don't fuck that up. She'll never.
No,
forgive you for that.
Well, it's funny because I have a friend of mine that a colleague that I've known for a number of years, and he actually gave me a referral, the best referral I've had of any contractor. And he's like, yeah, he goes, make sure you let him know that I sent you. He's like, they worked on this house, they worked on my mom's house. He's like, after before we sold that, like that was there, worked on his office, all this, and I went over to his place to see the addition that they put on. Holy shit. Like unbelievable. I was like, okay, so this would be great. This would be really, really great. Like our renovation is going to be significant in like one area, but really I think it's going to be pretty simple overall. We're not fancy people. You know what I mean? We're not
Bobby,
that extra.
let's just buy some booze and you and I'll crank it out in a weekend.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. You know what's one of the other things that I am considering, and this is something that Becca had inspired me from with. She had purchased a couple of storage containers, used ones, and I think what I'm going to do is buy one for the boat in the winter. Instead of renting one, I think I'm just going to buy one and leave it in the backyard, back that sucker in there. In fact, I might buy one large enough so I can put my work gear in there as well and get rid of my storage unit. Let's do everything right here. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Fucking seal the thing, maybe build like a little roof over it, keep it, see what happens. We'll see what happens. Why don't we dive in? You said you got a headline this week, right, Joe?
Of course I got a headline, Bobby.
Let's dive in. Let's do it.
All right, Bobby. So this story just came out, and if you're anything like me, you're kind of excited. And you want to see if one of your favorite lakes kind of made this list because Bassmaster has officially released its 2026 100 best bass lakes in America. And as always, anglers across the country are already debating whether they got it right. And every year the list becomes one of the biggest talking points in bass fishing. Some people love it. Some people hate it. And just about everybody has at least one lake they think should have been higher or lower. So let's dive into some of the highlights. So for the second straight year in a row.
Yep.
You have any idea, Bobby?
Clear Lake.
Clear Lake. First place. Clear Lake, California. Claimed the number one spot second year in a row.
Keep in mind, I'll be fishing there next spring.
Fuck yeah. And if you never looked into Clear Lake, it's an absolute giant factory. The lake has an incredible forage base, healthy population of Florida strain largemouth, and year after year produces huge tournament weights and double-digit bass. It's one of those places where a 10-pound fish isn't just possible. It's something anglers legitimately go there expecting to catch.
Yeah.
Like it's just an expectation. Coming at number 2, this one kind of surprised me because I haven't really heard of this one much. It's J.B. Thomas Lake in Texas.
Yeah, in Texas. You rarely hear people talk about that. This is, I think, the first time I've heard about it.
Like I said, if you're surprised the name is so high on the list, you're probably not alone because it's a reservoir that has absolutely exploded over the past few years.
Really?
And that's thanks to a strong fisheries management, improving habitat, and a really good recruitment. It's become one of the hottest bass fisheries in the country, like literally, like almost overnight. And then rounding out the top 3, can you guess? It's an eastern
St. Lawrence River.
St. Lawrence River. That's right, Bobby. So, yeah. So that third spot goes to St. Lawrence River. And, it's the St. Lawrence River is literally the gold standard. And it's almost unbelievable that we've seen come out of that fishery over the last several years. 25-pound bags of smallmouth have almost become normal during major tournaments. And, dude, I've done it. I've done it personally. Same. And think about, not in a tournament, but think about that. Think about it for a second. 25 pounds of nothing, Bobby, but smallmouth bronzebacks.
That's crazy, dude.
So crazy. And the combination of clear water, healthy habitat, gobies as a food source. So you see a million of them every time you put the flogger in the water. And incredible fisheries management has turned the St. Lawrence into what many anglers consider the best smallmouth fishery in the world. And honestly, it's hard to argue that. I've seen it firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
Now, one thing that really stood out wasn't just individual lakes. It was the states that continue to dominate the rankings. Texas again led the nation with 10 lakes making the top 100. California with 9. When you look at those two states, it's really no surprise. They invest heavily in fisheries, have diverse bodies of water, long growing seasons, and produce giant bass year after year.
Yeah.
But, you know, what really caught my attention was how well the Northeast continues to represent itself. And obviously you have the St. Lawrence at the top of the region's rank, but you also have fisheries like Lake Erie, Champlain, Oneida, Candlewood, all making appearances on the top 100. And, you know, especially Oneida and Candlewood, dude, those, and Champlain, those are all within 2 hours of us. And, you know, for those of us who live in the part of the country, that's something to be proud of, really. I mean, especially, you know, we talk like, no, there ain't nothing here in Massachusetts that we really gawk about, but drive an hour north, we got Champlain. Drive 2 hours west, we have Oneida. Drive 4 hours northwest, we have, you know, St. Lawrence River. Drive an hour and a half south, we have Candlewood. So people often think they have to travel south to catch world-class bass, but we've got some absolutely incredible fisheries right here in the Northeast. Yeah. Now, one thing I always hear when this list comes out is, how do they even decide this? So it's actually a lot more involved than people realize. Bassmaster doesn't just throw together a popularity contest. They look at tournament results from multiple organizations, input from state fisheries biologists, stocking and management data, catch rates, fish size, local experts, and trends from across the country. Mm-hmm. Is it perfect? No, of course not. But no ranking ever will be because fishing literally changes every single year.
That's exactly it.
You know, it all it takes is, you know, one incredible spawn, a vegetation die-off, a drought, flooding, an invasive species, or even super heavy tournament pressure can completely change how a fishery performs from one season to the next. And, you know, that's part of what makes these rankings so interesting. They're really a snapshot of where these fisheries stand right now. Not necessarily where they'll be in 5 years, but where they stand now. And that's what makes bass fishing so much fun, essentially. Yeah. So no matter how much data you have, no matter how many rankings are published, every time you launch the boat, the fish get the final vote.
Yeah,
so
true.
We want to know. Shoot us a DM. What do you guys think? Is there any? Check out the top. Obviously, not going to go through all 100 lakes, but is there anything on there that review? Is there anything on there that you should have been there that wasn't? Or if there's anything on there that you don't think should have been, let us know here at Jigs and Bigs.
I'll say that I think that I would say probably like make the top 100, but maybe like somewhere in the 90s.
Congamon Jr.
100%.
That's 100%. 100%.
Should be
Lash
97.
Away, dude. How did that miss?
How did the Lash Away miss? Oh, when I was out on the water with Paul and we were crushing the micheladas, we were fishing this one dude's dock, and he was out getting his boat ready. And he's just making small talk, and he goes, "Oh yeah, the kid next door caught a 9-pounder the other day," and I'm like,
"Yeah, I bet you did."
Oh my god, we get that so much around here
the time. It's crazy, man. I saw that list. So when you were like, "Oh yeah, number 3," I knew exactly what it was. I was like, "That's right, that's that lake in Texas." I saw the list. Number 4 was Santee, and number 5 is St. Clair, and I'm like, in the top 5. I have fished St. Clair, and I will be fishing Clear Lake, and I still have a hair across my ass about Santee Cooper. I think I have to make that happen, because
should have a hair across your ass about St. Lawrence River, Bobby.
Well, that is and St. Lawrence I've fished as well, but I believe me, I do have a different kind of hair across my ass about that. 100%.
So I'm saying it here now for the Jigs and Bigs folks. Bobby will be fishing opening day the Spawn at St. Lawrence River for the 2027 series, whether he likes it or fucking not. He is going to be there.
The date? What is the week?
That's a great question. So I want to say opening day is the 16th.
That's a Wednesday. Is that usually what they do?
And then it might be the 14th.
The 14th, that's Flag Day. That makes sense. So I'm going to do this live. We're doing it live. I'm going to find what I have going on next June and how screwed I am.
Opening day is June 15th. We are there from like the 15th, I think, to the 30th. Yeah, because we're there 2 weeks.
15th to the 30th. All right.
Yeah, that's when we're up there with the RV.
All right. I have an event that is tentative on the 5th. I am going to take off a week, the week of the 14th. Yeah. The week of the 14th, I'm going to take that whole week off and send the shit out of it. That's the plan.
Perfect.
That's the plan. I'm going to block those dates off after we're done recording this. I'm going to go into my calendar and I'm going to block those dates off. So if anybody asks me about those, they will not be available. But it's definitely
that's the week that Taylor and the Fish or Die guys are there.
Yeah.
My brother's coming up the second. He doesn't fish, but he's just come because it's an awesome, campground. And then, so you'll be the first week is the week to go. That's when all the boys are going to be up there.
That weekend, I might drag Holly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that she might really like that. She might really, really like that.
Dude, she like I said, dude, when I got Meg on that boat, dude, she's like, I don't even want to fish. I fucking love flogging. This is so cool. Like, you catch them. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh no. Like, and she was good at it. So
I'm about to show you something, Joe, that is going to humble anything you've ever caught at the St. Lawrence River.
Okay.
I got a message this week from one of our listeners, Justin Copley. And Justin sent me this picture.
Fuck.
That is an 8-pound smallmouth out of a spot that he caught on a big glide. He goes, I just thought this would be something cool to show you. I know y'all have big smallmouth up there, but in the Pacific Northwest, we have them too.
Yeah, they do.
They definitely do. That is a big fish. And for those of you that are like, fuck, I wish I could see this, I'm going to make this the cover art of the show. Because this is
why
a
wouldn't
sight
you? That's
to
insane.
be seen. Look at the size. Look at the tip of his finger for reference.
Yeah.
And look at the belly hanging down. Like, that was me in 2023. That was me in 2024.
That's kind of getting to me now.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah.
You know when I know my belly's getting a little too big, Bobby?
What's that?
When my underwear starts to flip over to the front, the band.
Oh, yeah, they roll.
Yeah. I was like, all right, time to chill. Time to chill with the ice cream.
But you know what? You mentioned that, but I'll tell you what, there's something I like about it. So I told you about how like I started using a concealed carry, the bridge to carry when I'm wearing like athletic shorts and stuff like that. That little flip over with the waistband is kind of nice because it covers that belt that goes around.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's kind of nice. It's not the worst thing. You guys, this is like.
So it's crazy. I've actually seen I've never been a belly band holster guy. I've never owned one. And, but, especially in the summer, I wear a lot of shorts that are like, don't have belt loops or anything. I wear like gym style shorts. Yeah. So I was thinking about it.
It's not a bad idea. I personally, the reason why I like the Conceal Craft so much is that it's so versatile. It works with whatever holster you've got. But like I can keep my Spyderco knife with the pocket clip right in there. And I've got access. My pockets are free, So I'm like, this is great. Dude. We got to go shooting, you and I. That's what
she doesn't listen to the show. She doesn't listen to the show, so it's okay. and I'm not going to get like crazy. Did I ever tell you the story of like when Meg and I first knocked boots?
No. Dude, oh God.
Dude. So obviously I'm not going to talk about that, but like, you know, we're getting ready or whatever. And it's like, we don't like, we're older, you know what I mean? So it's like, we'd only like hung out a couple times and like, you know, getting ready for the deed. And I hear, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Dude, she was fucking packing with a belly band.
Really?
Fucking packing a Glock.
No shit, dude. That's awesome.
I was like, all right. Never had to, you know, I've struggled with bras before, but never had to, you know, fumble with a belly band holster ever.
I'm telling you, dude, I am a fan. Like, I forget what the actual Kytex holster that I picked up, but it was like, it fit my gun and I was like, this thing's awesome. And it, dude, what a difference. But yeah, I fucking love, although it's funny. The thing that sucks about a belly band, and this is Jigs and Bigs listeners, especially some of our audience. If you're a little sensitive to TMI situations, you might want to hit that skip 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So when you're at like, you know, like when you have to use the facilities, right? Sure. Like you have to take the thing off. Like when I'm at home, I put it on the sink. You know what I mean? Like I have a spot at home, but last thing I want to do is take off my gun and leave it in a public bathroom and forget it. Like I probably would never do that, but it's in the back of my mind. Like I don't want to be that fucking guy. You know what I mean? And like, I don't want to take and like put it in my drawers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, all right. So I take the fucking band, I hang it around my neck while I'm taking a shit. Right? So I'm sitting there with a fucking Smith & Wesson 38 special around my neck as I'm dropping a deuce in like a fucking Sandy can in a porta-john at a boat launch.
Oh. It's funny you say that because like at work, like, you know, obviously I carry at work every day, and you know we carry them on tack belts, and you'll see how our guys are outfitted at the Hoodlum Fest, but so we actually have hooks in the stalls. We have hooks in the stalls just for our fucking tack belts for when we're taking a shit, dude.
See, that is thoughtful right there.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. We have the hooks for our tack belts and a little spot for our radios.
Wrong stall to walk in. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. That's fucking awesome, man. Holy shit. So before we take our first break here, guys, we do have the final standings for June's duo series. And Binya is going to do the honors for us with that.
Hey everyone, Binya here with a tournament standings update. The June Bud Series has officially concluded. We had 4 winners from that event. We had Duplicate Fish coming in at 98.75. Sticky Rice came in at 103.25 in third place. Geronimo just barely ahead of Sticky Rice with a couple last-minute submissions, bringing themselves in at second place at 103.5. And Scope and Hope holding that lead most of the event at 104.25. We also have the July series already in full swing. 19 anglers have signed up as of this recording, and we already have 3 teams in the money. MYA, a new team to the series, coming in at 96.75, holding down that first spot. The Main Show, another new team to the event, coming in at 86.75, and Bobber Down, a team that has been around for a little while, coming in at third at 75.5. Back to you, Bobby.
Alrighty, guys, we're going to take a quick break, flip this around. When we get back, we got just the tip for you. And then we have a live well segment after FTG. Lots of good stuff to come up. Don't go too far. More good stuff on the way here on Jigs and Bigs.
They say you can tell a lot about a person by the contents of their freezer. So, what does a bottle of Jägermeister say? It says you have standards, you don't cut corners, and you like your Jägermeister shots the way they're meant to be enjoyed, ice cold. As for the frozen taquitos and mystery leftovers, we'll keep that between us. Drink it cold, or don't drink it at all. Jägermeister. Damn, that's cold. Drink responsibly. Jägermeister liqueur, 35% alcohol by volume. Imported by Mast Jägermeister, U.S. White Plains, New York.
And we're live on match day as Doug reaches for a buffalo wing. He's got it! Oh, and he's gone for a can of Pepsi too! What a finish! There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi.
And perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or, ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Okay.
Let me ask, have you ever had one of those days, specifically one of those summer days, where you launch the boat, you get through maybe like about a dozen casts, and then you immediately think to yourself, where the hell did all these bass go? In the spring, they seem to be pretty much everywhere. Then July and August roll in, and sun starts to get really high, that water gets super warm, boat traffic picks up significantly, and it feels like somebody emptied the lake. The good news? The bass didn't disappear. We know that, but what it is that they just moved to places that are more comfortable for them. And today we're going to talk about how you can find them. Summer bass are essentially looking for a few things. They're looking for food, but they're also looking for oxygen and comfort. And comfort usually means one of three different things, either shade or depth or current. And the more of those ingredients a spot has, the better your chances are at finding bass. Before I even make my first cast this time of year, I'm always looking at my mapping. I know that we've thrown around a lot of mapping terms on the show over the years, so if you're newer to bass fishing, let me explain a few, because these can completely change how you look at a lake. So like we've talked about main lake points. A point is just simply a piece of land that sticks out into the lake. Underwater, though, that land continues out before eventually dropping into deeper water. Bass use these as highways. They can slide up to feed and then slide right back down to rest without traveling very far. A secondary point, though, is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of a big point in the main lake, it's one of the smaller points that are found inside of a creek or a cove or a bay. Think of them as like the neighborhood roads after you've gotten off the highway.
The byway,
if you will. During summer, bass will often stop on these while moving between deep water and shallow feeding areas. Underwater islands, sometimes called humps. An underwater island is simply a high spot that's on the bottom that is completely surrounded by deeper water. Imagine that it's a hill that just never breaks the surface. These places can be absolute magnets because bass can feed on top and then they can slide right back down the sides where conditions change. And these were key on that last trip with Paul. This is where I found some of the biggest fish. Channel swings. If you've ever looked at a contour map and seen an old creek or a river channel, those sometimes that channel bends right up against a shoreline, and that's what they call a channel swing. Instead of having to swim a long distance, bass can move from deeper water up to shallow in just a few tail kicks, and it's incredibly efficient. And bass are all about efficiency. A break line is simply where the bottom changes depth quickly, sometimes called a break or a ledge or something like that. On a map, you'll notice the contour lines get stacked really close together. The closer those lines are, the steeper the drop is. And bass often position right on those edges because they can just move up or down depending on feeding conditions. Now, why is it that these places matter? Here's the common thread. Notice none of these places are random. Every one of them gives bass easy access to different depth. In summer, fish don't want to swim a quarter mile every time they decide they're going to feed. They want options. So as the day changes, realistically, you should too. And here's something else that's really important. The lake is going to change throughout the day. Morning bass aren't always mid-afternoon bass. When you've got low light in the early morning, bass are usually more willing to roam around. That's when I love moving baits, top waters, walking baits, buzz baits, poppers, or spinner baits, swim baits, bladed jigs. You can just throw them down the shoreline. Some of the best topwater fishing of the year is going to happen over offshore, or I should say, don't just throw them down the shoreline, because some of the best topwater fishing of the year can often happen over offshore structure where bass will push bait fish to the surface. Then, as the sun starts to climb and we get into the midday, this is where a lot of anglers decide that fishing got tough. The fish didn't disappear, though. They're just repositioning. What you want to look for at this time of day is your boat docks, your standing timber, your deeper weed edges, rock piles, bridge pilings, or simply move further down the point that you are already fishing. Instead of burning a bait, slow it down. This is also where like a football jig or a Texas rig, a drop shot, a Ned, dragging a big worm, all those presentations that stay in the strike zone longer, they really pay off. And as we get into the evening and the sun starts dropping, everything starts to happen in reverse. The bait starts moving again. Bass become more active. That topwater rod you put away at 10 o'clock, pick it back up. Here's another thing that I always pay attention to in the summer is the wind. A lot of anglers will try to avoid it, especially, and I hear this from kayak anglers all the time. In reality, you want to look for it. You want to become comfortable with it. Wind mixes oxygen into the water. It pushes plankton. Plankton attracts bait fish. Bait fish attract bass. That's why a windy point can often outfish a calm one, even if everything else seems identical. If there's really one thing I want you to remember this week, it's this. Summer bass aren't randomly scattered around the lake. They're relating to structure that gives them easy access to food, oxygen, and overall comfort. And when you learn to identify those places, you essentially stop fishing what would be empty or dead water. So the next time you launch during the dog days of summer, it might be tomorrow, it might be the next day, it might be during that next heat wave, don't just start casting. Take a few minutes and look at your map. Find the highways, find the exits, find the underwater neighborhoods where bass are going to spend their summer. Because the biggest adjustment in summer isn't changing baits, it's changing where you fish. And we'd love to hear from you about this week. What's your favorite summertime spot? Like, what's that structure that you feel the utmost confidence? For me, it's ledges. When I see ledges like that, there's a certain level of confidence that I just have with ledges. But it doesn't mean that, I'm going to ignore humps or points or channel swings or anything like that. You got to use what you've got. But what's your favorite and the thing you're most confident with? And if there's another fishing term that you've heard us use on the show that you'd like us to kind of break down, please let us know. There's a good chance that if you're wondering about it, someone else is too. In fact, I've even kind of debated the idea of doing like the fishing term of the week, where we add that to just the tip, we take a term, we discuss it, what it's all about. But Joe, this is what I need from you. What's the one fishing term that experienced anglers throw around all the time that you think newer anglers should really understand?
Oh, man. Oof. I got to think. While I think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you kind of stumped me here.
It's tough, right?
Okay, so here's one. I have one.
Okay.
Where there's grass, there's bass.
Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I could agree with that.
I guess that would be one that, new wranglers really understand, because it's 100% true. I mean, they love that. They love that, that crisp green, healthy grass, because it oxygenates the water, like we were just talking about. And, it's cover, oxygen,
it's a great ambush point.
Ambush points.
Yeah.
It's all of them. So, that's, I think, find the grass, find the bass would be my biggest one.
And it's interesting too, because like a lot of folks, they get really irritated fishing grass. They're like, oh, it's just too many weeds. I can't. You got to adjust what you're doing and figure out how to best use what you've got to try to get those bass. Like, one of the easiest things to do is to throw something above that grass and get their attention. So it might be a walking bait, or it might be a popper or something to get their attention that's topwater. Or you might want to burn like a spinnerbait overhead, something like that, or a bladed jig, or even a swim bait. If they're not going to chase up and out of the grass, don't be afraid to throw on a Texas rig, or a jig of some sort, something like that, and just drop that sucker in there like you're punching a mat. It might feel a little bit random, but there's a lot of payoff right there. I think John Hagan says, he goes, ledges are my favorite as well. He goes, not the same fishing, but same premise. Definitely get that. Pat says, one of my favorites is the one that fish are biting on. Clearly. Come on. And
so I guess for the dog days of summer, really, my favorites are, obviously I love frog fishing, the pads, and, docks and skipping under docks and stuff. But I guess my real bread and butter in the summer would be deeper cover, not deeper structure.
Yeah. It's
so that like anything over like 10, 15 feet.
Yep. And what are some of your confidence baits in that deeper stuff?
Oh, shaky head.
Yeah,
shaky head's a big one.
Yeah.
If I'm fishing that deep structure in the summer, I'm fishing it slow, so it's going to be a shaky head. It's going to be a jig, a weighted wacky or a Nico rig, stuff like that.
Those are great. Like weighted wackies and Nikos are often like a little overlooked, I think, sometimes. In deeper
shaky
applications.
Head, dude. Shaky head is such an overlooked way to fish bass. It's kind of one. It's kind of one of those dying techniques that just like it's weedless. It's friggin'. I love my shaky heads, dude. Love them.
It's funny you say, because I tied a shaky head on today. Half ounce shaky head, tungsten. I forget what one it was, but with like just a big ribbon tail. And I was like, okay, so maybe they're on the bottom. Maybe I can coax a bite this way. No, man, they just did not want it. I think I also had thrown a wobble head with a paddle tail on it. And that probably would have gotten bit, but the problem was the typically I buy larger hooks for these wobble heads, and the issue there, because this is like a 3/4 ounce sucker, and I'm throwing them out and I'm dragging it. Sometimes I'll point my rod tip down and reel it and run it almost like a bottom running crankbait. The problem is that they really wanted like that sub 4-inch plastic, and that was killing me. Was that I couldn't get that on that specific hook. What else did I throw deep? Gentlemen's Club jigs around those deep rocks. Those two. Just they didn't want anything that was like on the bottom. Like it was just slow rolling that small finesse swim bait, and they would smash it. Freaking crazy. Pat jumps in here and goes, I finally got on the water with Matt on Sunday and caught almost all my fish on a drop shot, couple on a spinnerbait after dark. Nice, dude. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and dive in because we got a couple of FTGs this week. Now, before we do our FTGs this week, I want to throw this out there, jig heads and listeners. I'm considering changing the FTG Open. I am considering retiring that FTG Open and making and editing a shorter version of the FTG song and using that. I don't know. I'm a little on the fence. Some of you guys might want to hear it, so I might go and edit that for a while and fool around a little bit and see what that sounds like, see what you guys think. You can A-B it maybe. Maybe I'll do something on social media where you guys can vote. Some of you guys I know are just like attached to the OG stuff, but I feel like retiring some of the stuff and like growing with it a little bit kind of makes that stuff seem unique. So go ahead and think about it. Call or text the live well 413-324-8519. Let us know your thoughts. Should I mix it up? What do you think I should do? But before we dive into that, and Joe, again, I want to apologize because you're on the chopping block for both of these, but for different things.
Fuck's sake.
For different things. This one here, I think, was just about a week late. Let's listen to Bandit right here.
Bobby, how's it going? It's the Bandit. I'd like to give a call just so that I can see if I can request that we find out what is going on with Joe. Maybe a welfare check, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think we should call him who the fuck is Joe Brown anymore. I'm thinking more like, where the fuck is Joe Brown? Because I haven't heard from him. I haven't seen him. No answers on Instagram. No answers on Facebook. No answers on text messages. Is this guy okay? Anybody know? Let me know. Take care, guys. Bye, bye.
I feel like that one is general concern. I really
Listen,
do.
Chris, I've been talking to Chris the last couple days. Bro, I was on the St. Lawrence River. I was, drinking, fishing. I have four kids. Four asshole kids.
Four asshole.
That I got to deal with all the time. And I'm
the retirement brain.
Exactly.
Right?
So, dude, I'm that guy. Dude, I love you all. But I'm that guy that what you guys have to understand, I'm that guy that returns you.
Where did Joe go? He dropped out. He did. He dropped out. I did too. Well, it's my internet. My internet hates me. I'm going to ask him to catch up, and I'll try to link this together. My God, we were doing so good this show. What the hell happened? I got no indicator of having trouble connecting. Yeah, thank you, StreamYard. You guys, the listeners at home, are getting a taste of what this crap is all about, this internet. I'm telling you, I need to go with Starlink. I think it's got to happen. We're back. Joe, you dropped out when you said, you got to understand, and you just disappeared. I think he disappeared again. I think he did. He did. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to listen to Cass and just move on.
All right, I'm calling this so-called HR here, filing my grievance over the air for that fucking guy, Joe Brown, who is impossible to get a hold of. I don't know who the fuck he thinks he is, but Cass from Feather Outdoors has been trying to get a hold of you about your extended car warranty. No, but seriously, Joe, answer the fucking social media calls.
Yeah. So that was Cass from Feather Outdoors. Calling the HR.
Am I back?
Yeah,
Am I back?
You are back now, Joe. He goes, answer the DMs and the emails, Joe. That was Cass from Feather Outdoors with that last call. Man, I'm telling you. I think at this point right now, I think you're in the clear. I don't think it's possible. You've got 2 episodes back to back. I think the point has been made that you're back.
So these guys have. Okay, so what I was trying to say is I'm that kind of guy. Like, if you text me, it's nothing bad. I love all you guys.
Yeah,
but my texts usually come in 4 to 6 business days. And hey, Bobby sees that too, guys.
Oh yeah,
like, it's
definitely
not you.
Do.
Like Bobby's part of that too. He'll
It's
be like,
true.
dude, you good? Like I'm like, oh my God, dude. Cause my biggest problem is like, I'll be at work or I'll be in the middle of something and I'll look at the text. Cause I get so many fucking texts throughout the day with AVF, with just family shit, with work shit. My phone is always blown up with work shit. So I'll like look at something real quick and be like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'll let me think about that and I'll get back to them. And then I never get back to them because I'm an asshole. I love all you guys. Chris, Cass, dude, I love you guys. I've been talking to them over the last couple days, so I think we're good there. I'm that guy though. I'm that guy. Like Meg and I both are that same way. Like 4 to 6 business days, guys. Like you have to be like, I'm that type of person where you have to be, and Bobby knows this firsthand. Be like, I've told Bobby, dude, if I don't answer you within like the day, fucking hit me again. Like, I'm terrible, guys. I'm sorry. Like, fuck. So sick of being beat up on the FTG. I think I might have the record. Might have the record as the FTG on this show. Like, how am I the co-host of this show and I've had the most FTGs called on me?
Constantly getting shit. Constantly. Oh, my God. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
Love all you guys, and you guys obviously don't love me because you guys are just like, well, fuck you, man. Like, whatever. Like, I'm gonna put it out to the world that fuck that guy.
It's fucking amazing. Oh man, who's that dude?
Zach's my dude. Love that guy. We haven't talked in probably a month and a half, 2 months.
Oh yeah,
and that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, it goes with the territory. I just got this is late breaking news. NJ BFS gang Brandon just caught his first bass in Massachusetts. It's a new PB.
Oh, I didn't know if he was calling in an FTG about me.
No. He's not calling in FTG. Where's Joe? What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a feeling.
Like, don't forget, guys. I run I have like 3 social media pages. My personal Instagram is like blowing up constantly. The AVF one is constant, where I have other people running that one. So it's like, what you have to understand, AVF isn't me either.
Yeah.
So now I feel like an asshole. I'm gonna beat myself up.
I wouldn't.
Now I'm going to have to slap my kids around tonight.
You see what you got?
Do you see what you guys did? Do you see what you did?
My God.
Yeah, FUJ. I like that. Change it to FUJ.
FUJ. Oh God, don't get me started. I'll fucking put another song together. Oh God. All right, let's pivot. We'll take a quick break, guys. We're going to come back around. And we've got, what do we got next? Oh, yeah, the live well. We got a handful of phone calls and a couple of text messages. One of these very late breaking. We'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go too far. Much more Jigs and Bigs coming up after this, baby.
Hi there. Welcome to the Live Well, where we crack open a ramp beer and attempt to answer all of your burning questions.
Oh, yeah. We have sampled all of these questions, and they are, in fact, burning. Let's go ahead and see what Eli has for us in his first question for the live well.
Hey, boys. Got a question for the live well. Just got back from taking a bunch of junior high kids to a Christian camp where there was a lake that a decent amount of them fished. And I've got a couple of guys that are asking me about rods, reels, setups, and what I would recommend. I want to hear your thoughts on beginning anglers, what kind of combos you recommend. Most of the guys know how to throw a spinning rod at least. And so I'm leaning towards more of a spinning rod. The one that came to mind right away was a Bluger President combo. Not too expensive, still pretty good quality. But I was curious to see what you guys thought. If there's any other recommendations that you have. I know I've never really looked at the ARC lineup that much. Or if there's one that I don't know. what are some combos that you'd recommend?
So my
5-ounce hook, a 5-ounce weight, and a big ass treble hook.
And John Higgins goes, that's Kentucky fishing at its finest. Huge treble and 5 ounces of weight. Beautiful. There we go. No, I would say, honestly, I don't really think it matters, the brand. I really don't.
It doesn't.
It genuinely, it really doesn't. What matters more is what are they doing like to fish? A lot of people will say, oh, yeah, they're going to throw a spinning combo, and they don't put any thought into that rod that they're using, you know? I think one of the best things folks can do is start with actually, a lot of people say like, oh yeah, a 7-foot medium fast. I mean, yeah, but if you're going to throw like really light stuff, sometimes you can struggle a little bit more with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
When it's somebody that's just starting out, I like to consider the fact that they're probably not going to cast anything heavier than about an 1/8 ounce. To get to start, because you want them to catch fish. They're not concerned with the big ones. Like we talked about this in the growing the sport last week in that just the tip. I would say honestly, like you want something like something longer than 7 foot, medium light, fast or extra fast. And that extra length is going to give you a little bit more tip to play with, so that if you're throwing like something really compact, like like a Bronco blade, you know, on an 1/8 ounce jig or a 16th ounce jig, you could still get decent casting with that. You can throw like an 1/8 ounce jig head with a paddle tail swim bait. You can easily throw a wacky. You could drop shot with that. You know, you could throw a Ned. You could do a high-low, you know, where you've got a Ned on the bottom and a drop shot hook further up, and you're working a couple of different things. I would say like that, because the whole thing is that like, look, we know if they fall in love with this, they're going to buy more gear. So they don't need a fucking Aldebaran to go out fishing the first time.
Yep. I agree 100%.
You know,
and like, here's how I kind of look at it, Bobby, is especially with beginners getting into fishing.
Yep.
Let's just talk like, let's talk about driving yourself to work.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you have a Kia or a Mercedes, they both get the job done and get you to work. It's just about the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the comfortability. If you're just trying to be like, all right, I need to see kind of how this ride goes, so I'm just going to buy this cheap ass Kia, see if I like it, like whatever.
Yep.
And you know, that's kind of how it is. Like, if you want to get some specifics with someone starting new, get yourself a Shimano or a Daiwa combo setup. Like, I don't even know what they call them these days, but the ones that come with the reel and the rod. Over at Lake Bobby, I agree, 7 foot or more is kind of where you should be at, medium or medium light. And that's what you're if you're going to buy one rod because you're a beginner, that's what you should get. There's no reason for you to be like, okay, should I get this Vanford or this Tatula spinning wheel with this Arc, you know, Cobb or this what you know, this fucking 6 cents, like whatever. Like, no, go get yourself. Like, let's be honest, 75% of people who are like, I'm going to get into fishing, do it for a fucking season and then never pick it up again. So don't go and blow the mind. Like, Bobby and I, or any one of you listening, could go out and buy a $400 setup, or you could go buy a $50 setup, and you're still gonna. It's not. You're still gonna catch fish on either one of them.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just about the experience. Yeah. There's sense. You can get into the sensitivity and all that, but it's not going to stop you from catching fish. That's where it's like, you get in those conversations where it's like, oh, it's such an expensive hobby. It's only an expensive hobby if you make it that expensive hobby.
Yep. Exactly.
You know, it can be a very like not expensive hobby. You know, there's like, guess what? Buying that $50 rod, a bobber, a hook, and go and buying a $2 pack of fucking worms or a dozen shiners a couple times every week. That's nothing. You know what I mean? Or even a bag of fucking, you know, Senkos or whatever, or Yum, which are like $2, $2.99 or whatever.
And that's the thing. I think that like what I'm going to make an assumption that Eli is talking about, like, oh, these are people that he knows that are like, I want to do what you're doing. I want to fish artificial lures. I want to catch bass, and that's what it is. Now Pat makes a comment here. He says, you don't need sensitivity if you don't know what you're feeling for. That's where I disagree. I think you need more sensitivity so that you can detect what you're supposed to be feeling for, because you can learn what you're feeling. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you hear that thump, when you feel that thump. But it doesn't have to be a G Loomis. You know what I mean? Like, it can very, very easily be a quality budget line with the right action, and I think you're gonna get about what you want. John Higgins goes, a $50 setup lasts 5 years and breaks. $400 setup lasts 5 years and breaks. I'd rather be down 100 to 800. Yeah,
he nailed it.
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
And Joe, I kind of want to riff on your analogy about like driving to work and being in a car, because I think that that's perfect, because the reality of it is everybody's going to have different priorities. For some people, they're like, listen, I'm going to be in this car. Let's say it's a 45-minute fucking ride to work, right? And you're in there. It's a sizable commute, right? 90 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So, maybe you're like, I want to be a little bit more comfortable, and making that payment, I see the value in making that payment, and that's okay.
Sure.
Or maybe you're like, I don't want to fucking have that payment overhead. I want to take this money and dump it into something else. And you drive that beat up Honda or whatever, and that's your deal.
It's kind of like,
there's no right or wrong.
Do I want to drive the Mercedes and grab a Cumbies $1 coffee on the way, or do I want to drive the Kia and get a fucking Starbucks coffee on the way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's infinite analogies of it. Mm-hmm. Like if you're getting into it, start from the bottom. Once you like Pat was saying, like once you get the feel of like what you're doing, you start to feel those thumps. You're like, oh, I really like this, and then you can catch the bug, like people like Bobby and myself have, to where we put a little bit more money into our equipment. But dude, there's been so many freaking hobbies I thought I wanted to get into that I dropped so much dough, and then I was like, oh my god, like I'm not into this at all.
This actually is a really,
and it's like sitting in my garage or whatever, because I don't have the patience to put it on Facebook Marketplace or whatever. Like, dude, pouring baits. I was like, I'm gonna pour baits and start my own bait company.
Yeah,
like bought all the molds, all this stuff, dude. Burnt myself twice. I'm like, this ain't for me.
I'm done. Yeah,
this ain't for me. You know, it's just,
and it's interesting too. Like getting back to like the money end of it. Like I'm about to drop some money right now on my electronics because I'm not happy with what I'm currently using. I'm not. I don't love Lowrance's mapping. I really don't, and that's a problem. Because I'll tell you what, more times than not, when I'm like what I was talking about in Just the Tip, looking at maps beforehand, I'm not looking at my Lowrance because the contour lines are shit. I'm looking on like Omnia, or I'm looking on other fishing apps that are on there. Even the CMAP app I don't love it. You know what I'm saying? So or if it's something really fucking sneaky that's not on a map, I'm on the fucking on the internet looking for a document of their topo map and looking at that, something along those lines, and trying to like triangulate where I'm going to go. I'm going to sink some money in because like I see the value in having two rigs that can communicate with one another, and put that together. Dean says, he goes, I'm the Robin Hood of fishermen. He goes, I go to yard sales for fishing, get a St. Croix rod for $20. Dude, that right there, that's a unicorn. If you can do that,
not enough people do it. Yes, Dean, that's perfect. There's so many. I know so many people golfing too. A lot of people I know who golf find killer deals at yard sales.
Yeah. John Higgins goes, dude, yard sales can be the move, but I would base that on the meth use in the community. Are you buying gently used or slightly stolen gear? Oh, dude. You know, the thing is that like a lot of the time, like when you're selecting stuff for a beginner, you gotta consider the angler. Like, what is their goal? Are they looking to just soak a worm and catch a buzz while maybe catching some fish? The action and sensitivity doesn't really matter at that point. If they're going to throw a bobber and throw some live bait or something, you know, it really doesn't. I would say if they're interested in doing what you're doing, Eli, and like trying out different baits, then yeah, I would definitely look into like that 7-foot medium and start there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then piece it together. But don't worry about the brands. And the less they can get into it for, like, if they love it, they're going to love replacing that budget-oriented reel with some quality stuff. They definitely will, you know. And I don't know, man. It's
perfect example, Bobby.
Yep.
I have so much money invested into fucking ice fishing. I've gone twice in the last 5 years.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know, it's like I could have went with such
super
lower
fancy
end
shit.
equipment.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And I just like tied myself up like with that shit. And I got like I have a electric auger that has been from like 5 or 6 years ago that has been used so few times. It's still on the original charge.
Holy shit, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That says something about that battery, though. Then that's pretty.
Yeah,
badass.
yeah, that's true too.
That really, that's a fucking. There's a testament right there. We do have a call from the one and only Dave Urkey. Let's see what he's got to say.
Hello, Bobby Roast Beef. Hello, who the fuck is Joe Brown, or whoever is subbing in for who the fuck is Joe Brown this weekend. It's I, Dave Urkey. That's my card telling me I need to put on a seatbelt. I live in California. We drive like 20 miles an hour on the freeway at best. Too many people. Anyways, I was listening to the show today actually. And by the way, the day this show airs, the day this call airs, it's my wife's birthday. It is July 7th. Happy birthday, babe. Love you. Glad you're 23 again. Anyways, so fishing and fires. Let's talk about this because I'm totally down to talk about this. I'll make it short and sweet.
That's right.
I like fishing and fires. I like fishing early in fires. I don't mind smoke so much. I smoked like 2 packs a day for like 25 years. So a little fire smoke outside is not going to bother me that much. There's been a few times where I thought about sticking cigarette butts up my nostrils just to filter it out. So I might as well, get a rip while I'm fishing. But the smoke doesn't bother me as much. It does bother a lot of people. It keeps them from going out. California encourages us not to. I go anyways. And it's like a post-frontal bite. Like, it's really cool, at least in the beginning of the fire. But as the fires burn and as they, continue to go, it starts to create its own little, like, ozone weather system. It sucks a lot of oxygen out of the air. And the bite is on, but it's really deep. In the beginning, it's super shallow because there's, like, nothing to bother them. There's no birds flying. There's no animals coming after them. They go shallow. They eat all the bait fish that are pecking at the ashes. And then this is what I found in my personal experience. I'm no fact guy. But as the fire burns on, they tend to go deep because there's less oxygen in the air. That's also the time where you don't really necessarily want to be out there anymore either. But I hope that kind of answers in a roundabout way, just experience versus like read fact, because we both know I don't read. I just breed. That's why I have 3 kids. All right, you guys have a good day. Bye.
We had somebody also reach out to us about the whole like fire situation too, and I forget who it was because I did ask people to reach out, and I don't think that it was on the no. No. It wasn't on.
That was actually a great clarification, though.
That was really good, though. I think it did. And you know what I think it is? I think that early on, I think that you don't see as much of the residual like sediment from the fire that's caused from the fire washing in. So it can probably be a very, very good thing. But, oh, that's what it was. It was it was John. All right, let me go and look that up, John, because you left a comment, but it was on Spotify. So let me go back and track this down here so I can dive into to that discussion here. Okay, so he says, just a comment for the fishing and forest fire, smoky conditions. It's got nothing to do with the fishing in general. Always take your own health into consideration before fishing these conditions as well. Are you healthy enough to handle the air conditions? Do you have asthma, severe allergies, or any other respiratory conditions that could hinder you or put you in a medical situation on the water? We all know we are tough, but always safety first. And that is a really, really good point to make. If you're fishing in a smoky situation, you got to take a look at what's burning. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a fucking tire factory, number one, that thing's going to be going for a while. But number two, there could be a lot of shit in the air what you don't want to be taking in, you know?
I'm on the Iraq-Afghanistan burn pit registry. I have breathed in so much burn pit smoke. Fucking put me in, coach. Like, I will go and fish with that shit.
And you know, that's another thing. Like, perspective is a big part of it. Like, you've already had that much. Do you want to add more to it? Or, you know, versus like me, I've sat in the wrong seat at a campfire a handful of times in my life. I probably have a little bit more room to spare, and I've never been a fucking regular smoker, aside from the ganj. But you know what I mean? Like, even then, I've never been like a fucking pack a day smoker. I smoke on purpose. No. I cap myself at 10 cigars a year. Yeah. Because I'm like, I make money with my voice. And Todd goes, yeah, we grew up. Now that is a very good point. We grew up through the 80s with cigarette smoke everywhere.
Dude, I still remember I still remember going into Friendlies in fucking Worcester, dude. Being like, all right, smoking or non-smoking, you know what I mean? It's my mom smoked in the house my entire fucking upbringing. You know what I mean? Like, I get it.
I remember when Massachusetts made the change where there was no more smoking allowed in restaurants at all. And there was a crew of people that would hang out after like punk rock shows and stuff at one of the local Denny's, specifically the one in Chicopee.
Chicopee shit never die.
Even though it's not there anymore. However, there was a certain group of them, especially in the winter months, because they don't want to go stand around outside and smoke. They would drive to Enfield, Connecticut, and go to that Denny's instead because they could still smoke at the table.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Like, I do a lot of traveling, and there's still sometimes where I go to states where it's still allowed inside, and dude, it's so fucking nostalgic. I was like, this is awesome.
Oh, dude, it irritates the shit out of me. I choke on cigarette smoke so bad, like all the time. Yeah. So, like, if I'm like doing an event and there's somebody smoking nearby, I will walk away from them so it's not hitting me. Because have you ever heard?
Some people can't take it.
There's a blues musician out in your area. His name's Big John Short. You ever hear of him?
Oh, he died a while ago, dude.
Are you for real?
He died. Oh no, Big John Short. I'm talking about somebody else.
Okay,
but yes, Big John Short is the fucking man.
Yeah, he had a power.
I'm thinking of Big Al Downing.
Oh,
that's what I'm thinking
of. Big John Short's fucking awesome. I have been a fan of his for a long time. This dude can play. And when I say can play, he is a one-man band most of the time.
Yep, legit.
He has a power trio, or did like in the... like I want to say around like 2013-ish, something like that. Like I booked them for this event. Amazing. I was at an event. It was a private party. It was oddly enough, it was at a fucking tires factory. It was a warehouse, right? And they have all the fucking bays set up. And it was like the owner was a fan, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have a fucking blues show at my fucking warehouse." So all these people are there. It's BYOB and everything. And I'm smoking a cigar. I'm standing there, and John looks at me. He knows me, and he's like,
Hey, dude, can you take that cigar out of here? Because it's fucking killing me, dude.
And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm a douche. So I went out, extinguished that sucker, went back to go watch the rest of the show. I was like, you piece of shit. Yeah. I was
Dude,
like,
you know who loves him?
Who? Meg?
Emma.
Oh,
because
Emma?
Emma, because he does like the kids like versions too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he is
we used to go watch him at Timber Yard all the time, but he hasn't been there in a while.
Oh, no kidding. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, dude, he is great. Like one-man band, he is awesome. He is. Another really good like Worcester area musician, James Keys. He's another absolute fucking animal. I've had the chance to play
I know the
with him
name.
before.
I know the name. There's a dude that my brother had. I can't think of the name right now because I fucking drank a bunch of those 10%ers right now, so I'm kind of retarded. But he was on fucking. He goes to my brother's bar probably once every other month, and he was like a finalist on The Voice. He's real fucking good. I can't. God, what the fuck's his name? I'll have to remember. I'll remember to tell you.
It's not Noah something, is it?
But like, it's like you can't even fucking walk. I mean, you've been in my brother's bar. You can't even like.
It is.
It was pretty packed that night.
For
Think
your
about
birthday,
it, like even worse than that, dude. Like
nuts.
yeah.
Dude, it was so funny because when we were on the water right near there, we circled around. I was like, "You want to go get lunch at this place?" I was like, "Or do you want to go to Shy's?" And they're closed this week for the 4th. And I was like, "Okay, fuck
that's
that."
right. Yeah, dude, he's at the Cape.
That's what I figured, man. He's smart, man. Dude, this is a good time.
But
man.
dude, 308's awesome. You can park your boat right there, and
That's what my thought was. Oh,
they got good cocktails.
While I'm thinking about this, before we go through the text messages here. All right. I think jig heads that are still in here, chime in, hit the hotline. What do you think? I think Joe and I need to do some kind of a video collab, like fishing competition with our wives.
Yes.
And
I would love that.
I think it would be awesome. I think it would be absolutely awesome. And even if it was just something as like we fish until whatever time and like the loser buys dinner.
Yep.
You know, that'd be awesome.
It would be so fun. It'd be so comical. Like,
oh, yeah. Yeah. The fucking video footage would be insane.
Yep.
While we're talking video footage, before I get to these texts, man, I got to tell you, I am buying 5 Insta360 cameras.
Ooh, baby.
So the reason is this. I started doing this thing at Trivia where I do the entire game the way that I do. 3 rounds, 3 bonuses. But I added a 10-question round where it's a buzz-in style. So it's buzz-in, and it's only the top 5 teams that get to compete in that. So right now I'm calling it the winner's circle, but I'm going to try to come up with a more like beef-oriented theme. And they all compete in this buzz-in round. It goes really fast, but I'm going to record it every night. And then every week, I'm going to create a video to drop on my Bobby Roast Beef Instagram and on YouTube as a short and everything. And put that like just a highlight thing because it's awesome. I can get all those reactions. Like, that's fucking perfect. 5 of them is kind of crazy. They don't have to be new models. They really don't.
Okay.
So I'm going to look around and see. But I was like, yeah, that's going to be fucking awesome. That'll be insane. With that said, we got 2 texts this week that came in. One of them is from one of our jig heads in here, Dean, texts and he goes, "Hey, Jigs and Bigs team, Dean Martin here with a great discovery after wading in the Swift River. Big Y in Ware, Mass. has a food truck that you will love. Polish food. He did attach pictures with the message. He goes, food truck is a freaking boat. And I took a look at the pictures. It is fucking cool. I'm like, all right.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I might have to go hit this thing up. Go check it out. Next time I'm cutting through the old, you know what they say about Ware? It's the town that can't be licked. I challenge that. That's actually an old slogan. I think they changed it because they were like, listen, cut it out with the perverted jokes, you assholes. And then our other text came in, and this one just came in with Eli. And it was as we were doing, I think, the first segment. He goes, I heard someone talking about how every tournament should go catch, weigh, release. Then they got in talking about weighing fish versus measuring fish. They were arguing which one they think and like better. What are your thoughts on weight versus length competitions? Joe, go ahead. I have a heavy opinion on this one.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I know you do, and I'm pretty sure it's different. And you know, dude, I'm a bass guy, or I'm a big boat guy, bass boat guy, and I'm like, I do love the way MLF does it, to where they weigh and they release. I do. Me personally, I absolutely love that. And even Bassmaster, they do it during the spawn, which I love. Like, they're like, okay, these fish are fucking spawning, so let's weigh them and throw them back.
Yeah,
so they
that's
get back.
cool.
I wish they would do it all year. I'm all about weight. I love weight. Like I love the weight calculations. That's how I was brought up. That's how I still do it. But not necessarily like I when it comes to the duos and the online stuff, I do have a board and I do measure them.
Yeah.
Perfect instance. I'm catching 4.5 pound smallies up in St. Lawrence River.
Yep.
And they're only 17 inches. But let you know, here we catch 2 pound bass that are 17 inches. You know what I mean? So it's I'm my preferred way to measure a bass is by weight.
Which, I mean, I understand and can appreciate the classic way of doing it, the way it was intended, all that stuff. It does feel more impressive to say this was a 6-pounder, this was a such and such. My thing is this. So I'm with you. I think the way that MLF does it is fucking money. I think doing catch, weigh, release is a more conservation forward way of doing it. I think the idea of having a weigh in and moving these fish all around is a bit too much in most instances, especially on like massive bodies of water where these things are like some of these big events happen. So like, I mean, there is that. My thing is this, with the reason why I lean more toward length is this. Let's not compare two different bodies of water. Let's compare the same body of water versus various parts of the year, like most anglers do. You know, we're not necessarily traveling to all of these places all the time with any kind of like routine cycle or anything like that. So you're fishing a lot of like the same areas. So you go to a body of water and, you know, you catch a fish. All right. And like you catch a fish that's tagged. Okay. You can verify this is the same fish. And you catch that fish and it's April or May. All right. That's going to be a tank. It's going to be huge. Feeding up, pre-spawner, just boom. You know what I mean? But then you catch that fish in like July. For all intents and purposes, it might be a 1/4 inch difference, but it's not going to be shorter. We'll get to that in a minute. It's going to be lighter. So if you had a tournament there and you caught the exact same fish, let's say you're looking at the tag and you're like, fuck, it's 86942. I caught this fish 3 months ago, 4 months ago, or whatever. That fish is going to fluctuate. Is that weight and the ability to fluctuate actually a good concrete indicator of the quality of that fish versus the length? Because the phenomenon is that fish don't shrink. They could stay the same length for a long amount of time. And that's when they stunt. They're going to end up like that, but they're still going to fluctuate a little bit in like what they put on throughout the year. They're going to feed more here. They're going to, whatever. I think that the quality of a fishery is, and this, again, I think that a lot of it has to do with like the reason why I think length is so important is it's easier to prove, So like you have a slot limit on a body of water. You can only keep fish within a certain slot. You have to release everything under, release everything over, If a warden rolls up on you and is like, hey, I have to inspect these fish, you very well might have weighed them. If it was like, oh, it's a 2 pound minimum, you may have weighed them on a scale that was fucked up. That fish might have spit up some bait in your live well, and adjusted that weight. Now that's not legal. Because they're never going to shrink in length, you can keep that as like a static number. So I think that personally, I think that CPR is like the most conservation forward. It also does allow for the use of like national tournaments and shit like that. So I can definitely appreciate that. But I do think in terms of like having like quality records, I think it's an improvement. Going by length. But that's just me. I mean, I do understand, like when people ask me about my PB largemouth, I don't say it was 22 3/4 inches long. I say that it was 7 pounds. And I say it was 7 because it came in at like 6.8629.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. And it's just that for the sake of argument, I know what my PB weighed. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
I guess my biggest thing with weight versus length is weight really reflects the habitat quality and the aspect of, growing those heavy bass requires, proper forage.
Well,
where like, if you have a 17, let's say you have a 17-inch bass, same time frame, let's say summer, two different bodies of water.
Yeah.
If that fish at one body of water is 4 pounds, the other fish at the other body of water 2 pounds, that just typically shows a better habitat for that fish, and just like a healthier body of water when it comes to.
Although, I mean, it's tough because, like, what do you mean by when you say habitat? Like just the quality of water or the available forage?
All of the above. All the above. Quality of water, the forage, all the above.
Gotcha. Huh.
So like for instance, I've caught 16-inch bass at Lashaway that are probably, or smallmouth that are probably a pound. I've caught 16-inch smallmouth at St. Lawrence that were 3.5 pounds. Three and a half pounds.
Yeah.
And it's so I guess like for me it's that, and it's neither one of them are wrong. Neither one of them are necessarily right or wrong. It's dude, it's a total preference thing.
I agree.
Like it's a total preference thing. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong, and it's definitely not a reason to argue about it.
And
there's no reason to argue about it.
For your general average everyday angler that does what we do, 100%. You do what you want to do. If you want to weigh these fish, awesome. Weigh them responsibly, because you're also, as that angler, like typically, I don't know too many people that keep a bunch of fish in a live well just for hero shots. You know what I mean? I'm sure that there's out there, but myself, I don't know a bunch of people like that's what they're into necessarily. I will, if we get on them early, right, and like we get a good one, I'll be like, let's put this one in a live well a little bit and see what we get, in the next hour. But I'm going to release those fish after I measure them. And you know what I mean? They're not going to be in there all day.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to move.
What's prominent about fish, too, when it comes to weight and length? Put it in this perspective, Bobby.
Yeah.
What sounds better? A 5-pound bass or a 19-inch bass?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. I agree.
But hold on. What sounds better? A 36-inch pike or a 10-pound pike? Or no, not even 7-pound pike, or 6 or 5. So what I'm getting at here is different species sound better with different measurements.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Because
when was the last time you heard a muskie measured by weight? Muskie or weighed by length?
Was always secondary. Yeah, muskie, like if you're over 50, like they'll drop that number. Like what was that one in Jersey? I forget the length of that one. I want to say it was a 55.
Probably whether it was like a 50-inch,
but it was
muskie.
a 60-something pound muskie.
Yeah. So it's a lot of species have just been measured a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like, so like pike, like if I get a good pike, I measure it by length. I don't measure it by weight.
Yeah, I never really even thought about that.
Well, so I think it's like a real weird like niche to where certain species are measured a certain way by most anglers.
And I do think in terms of like Eli had mentioned in that text about like tournaments, I do think like I would personally, I would love to see tournaments that go with either, if they're not going to go catch photo release, and for smaller trails, that would be a more economical way to do it, because you don't have to put an official on every boat or anything like that. You don't have to buy all those fucking scales. So there's that. But for the larger stuff, catch, weigh, release, I think is probably the best happy medium. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Cats are typically weight class, but my tourneys go by length. Well, yeah, because you're doing like all 9 stuff.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things, man. It's like certain species are measured differently. Whether it be, I don't know anyone who's like, yeah, I caught this 3-pound pike. No, they're gonna say, no, I caught this 36-inch pike.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And it kind of
gets
weird when they're like,
Yep. Like, dude, I've all the pike I've caught. I've never ever in my life put a pike on a scale, but I've put them on a fucking measuring board.
No shit. Yeah, it's funny. Like even like my PB chain pickerel, I'm like fucking chain pickerel everywhere. But when I tell people I have a 27, they're just like, that's a big fucking chain pickerel, Yep.
But dude, a 27 was probably 3 pounds, maybe 4 pounds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Probably about 3.5 to 4.
Yeah. So it's like it's just
thick fucking.
I think species are just kind of regulated differently with the angler as to like, and it's like this weird. I forget the word for it, but just like your natural instinct. You know what I mean? Like us as anglers have natural instincts. Like my natural instinct for bass is to weigh it, but my natural instinct for a pike is to do its length, do it by length.
And you know what's interesting? The weight element, you know what that all comes from? Commercial fishing, food.
Sure.
Because it's like when you caught X amount, you're like, oh, how do we do? We got X amount pounds of mackerel, and those are whole fish. So there's obviously going to be something we have to estimate for what's actual yield and what's not, what's the waste. So it is, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, we'll never have like, it's all about. Yeah, we'll never have like a direct answer as to that. Like, and everyone's gonna think differently. Yeah, like the one thing Bobby and I have in common is we love the catch, weigh, release.
Yeah,
I love that just for conservation purposes. Because, dude, I've done tournaments where I've done huge tournaments with over 100 boats, and they bring the fish back out on specially rigged. Pontoon boats are actually just giant fish tanks, and they just put them in a random spot. You know what I mean? So it's like, or they'll make a few different spots, and I don't like. Yes, I do do I like that? No, I don't like it. Yeah. Like what I will tell you, even my small club tournaments, anytime I've fished during the spawn and I've caught a nice like female, I fucking take that female right back out to the spot I caught her.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about preference. We all have that natural instinct for each species. For people who catch more than one species, as to like, it's in our head. Like, pike, I'm gonna measure it, and forget a bass, I'm gonna weigh it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. And then like trout fishermen, I want to say like I want to make a joke about how like they just refer to them as being beautiful fish. You know what I mean?
So here's a funny one: is any brook trout. Really, any rainbow trout, they typically do the length. But when it comes to browns, you hear about a lot of weight with browns because they're typically a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yep. So like when I hear people like let's talk South Pond, Bobby.
Yep.
But like I hear people like, yeah, I got this 19-inch rainbow, but then so I'll be like, yeah, and I caught this friggin' 6-pound brown. When it comes to browns, because they're typically they tend to go by weight versus rainbows and brooks. If people are measuring them, they typically do it by length.
My PB brown is a 24-incher. I didn't even have a scale with me at the time.
Yeah,
but like this thing, it was spilling over the sides of my aluminum catchboard. Like it was stupid fat. So it might be something to what you're saying there, dude. Who knows? Fucking A. I would say that was a goddamn good show. We managed to put some shit together. I'm gonna brainstorm a little bit with Holly and see what she thinks. You do this.
Yeah, let me know, dude. Meg and I would absolutely love that, because we would love that.
We had a great day on Lashaway, and I think that would be like the ideal spot. We'll just go boom right there, done deal,
and then we'll park the boats and hit up a 308, dude.
Yeah,
or and we'll go have a drink at walk across the street, have a drink at Shy's.
We'll go pregame at Shy's, and then we'll go. Oh, Oh yeah, that's
even
great
better.
idea.
Even better.
I love that, dude. Awesome, man. All right,
Yep.
well, let's go. We're gonna wrap this sucker up, guys. Thanks so much for checking out Jigs and Bigs. We appreciate you. Have yourselves. I mean, by the time you're hearing this, the 4th of July is over, but hopefully none of you guys ended up in jail or did something fucking crazy. It blew off a thumb.
I hope you all have all 10 fingers.
Yeah, that's a big one. Especially with the Jigs and Bigs audience. You know what I mean? It's big.
I hope Terry's wheelchair is charged up enough.
Back up, Terry. Back up. It's my favorite thing. That's my favorite fucking thing. I love it. And, I mean, I hope you guys all have yourselves a great one. Enjoy, do your thing. And remember this, above all, above anything else.
Happy birthday, America! Happy birthday, motherfucker!
Tits and ass, smoke some grass. Yeah! Every fishing crew's got one! We call ours the Polish Hammer!
No. Fluoro, maybe? No. Just straight braid? No. I hate tying knots. Well, there you go. Somebody yell!
Casting deck acts like gravity writes the checks. Never reads the clues they give, just keeps casting the way he lives. Sometimes lucky, sometimes not. Still catches fish with every shot. That's the Polish hammer. Wouldn't trade him for another angler. He's a whopping, he's a plopping. Throwing frogs till the sun stops dropping. He don't sweat the little things, doesn't care what tomorrow brings. Fishing buddies come and go, but legends
legends never let go. Raise your coffee, raise your rod. Here's to the guy who fishes from the heart. The polish hammer never change, brother. Never change.